All right, and hello there. Welcome aboard to Reckoning Live. I'm joined with the local celebrity. If you're a Reckoning fan, of course you know who our honored guest is. We have Paige in the house today for the pregame. So, Paige, thanks for joining us. How are we doing today?
I'm great. How are you?
We're doing well. We're doing well. So, for those of you who don't know, you obviously been hiding under a box for the last probably, 5 or so years, Paige. Of course, coming onto the scene big at Lincoln and then representing our area well out east, out on the First Coast, playing some collegiate ball. So, all-time current franchise leader in goals.
Yes.
Just want to throw that out there. But
Thank you.
yeah, absolutely. So, Paige, as we get going, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
Yeah,
where you are right now. We alluded to it, and just kind of where you are in life.
Yeah, absolutely. So obviously I'm playing D2 collegiate soccer in St. Augustine at Flagler College. I love it there. I'm studying psychology. And now this is my first summer back in Tallahassee from playing in college, and I get to play out here at Gene Cox Stadium in Tallahassee, so I'm liking it so far.
There you go. Awesome. So what made you want to go with psychology, or what's kind of the route? What's the draw there?
Yeah, I think definitely in the future I'm looking more towards sports psychology and potentially coaching as well. I think everything is so connected. So that's what really drew me in, is just how to kind of find an extra advantage, in soccer. And I think for me, that's psychology. That's the psychological aspect of things. So that's a piece of why I'm so interested in it.
Okay. Super cool. Super cool. And how has going to coaching, right? So I feel like natural segue to the staff here at the Reckoning. How has that experience been working with the caliber of coaches that the Reckoning here in your hometown, right, have been brought to the table with this opportunity?
Yeah, absolutely. They definitely have a lot of knowledge. I think, just being a part of the team, I'm just trying to take in as much information as I can. It's our first year. I'm just trying to learn as much as I can. And I think it's, obviously awesome to have all the coaches we have out here. So we're just taking it all in.
Absolutely. So what is one thing, if you could latch on to, that you're going to take back to maybe Flagler? What's one thing over the summer? Because maybe it's, we see on the field stuff, right? Watching the games or coming out to the Gene. What is something from your Reckoning experience that you're going to take on to your next chapter? Because it's year 2, right, over at Flagler?
Yes, year 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the priority of recovery is so important. We have a great staff here who takes good care of our bodies and helps us in that way. So I think that's definitely something. And then another aspect, just from playing here, first, it's a learning experience, like I said, first year. So I think it's important just to try your best, right? So, I mean, obviously we're playing against some of the top teams in the country right now, in our region and whatnot. So I think it's important when we're out there on the field. It's tough when we're, losing games. So I think the most important thing is just to try. I think that's a powerful thing. Just give it your best and see what opportunities come of it and see what happens. So I think that's definitely something I'll take with me to Flagler and beyond that as well.
Awesome. That's super cool. Super cool. Good mental aspect.
Yes,
I can see the
sure.
psychology world meshing with the soccer world
Absolutely.
really well there. So, of course, Paige, since day one, you've been in kind of a leadership kind of position with the team and kind of, one of the, pillars of the franchise, so to speak. But now, of course, after suffering the injury, you're more on the sidelines, right? How is your role, or how have things changed for you in the last couple weeks?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think, just being a part of this team, it's something that I've been fighting for a long time, like you mentioned. So I think it's so special to just be a part of it. And definitely throughout the season, I've just been trying to have as much of an impact as I can on the field and off the field. And I think that's, the current challenge now is, okay, I'm on the bench. How can I still have an impact? Which I think is a good challenge for me as a leader, as a captain of this team. It's like, okay, how this changed, but how can we adapt and how can we still impact the team? So that's what I'll be doing tonight. I'll still be on the bench, hopefully having an influence.
Okay, super cool. Did Coach Wilson let you draw up any plays? Did you get in
No.
any corner kicks or free play sets?
Well, she'll probably talk to me if I ask, but I leave that stuff to her.
Yeah, fair enough. So maybe a little later before you get into the actual coaching situation.
For sure, but it's definitely a cool opportunity since we have some of the younger players as well. We have a reserve team too.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
I think that could be a potential, future opportunity for me, is to help me get into the coaching world that way.
Yeah. It's a shame because it seems like they came out here. They slayed, right? 4-2. They were looking really good. Awesome goals from the reserve team a couple weeks ago.
Absolutely, yeah.
But then nobody wants to play them. They had a whole schedule, and then unfortunately, it's kind of a heartbreaker that they lose these matches. But I don't know. Reserves team looking pretty good.
They were absolutely.
So going forward, Paige, obviously coming out of Flagler, your first season, you're out there, a lot of playing time. What was the experience like? Because obviously, being at Lincoln for a while, seeing that, and then going to the next level. What was that journey?
Yeah, I love it. First off, I love Flagler. It's an amazing experience being over there. And I think, there's always an adjustment period playing collegiate soccer out of high school. But it's been amazing. I think my coaching staff is so good there, and, all my teammates support and encourage everyone. So it's definitely been cool and an adjustment as well, playing with a new team. But I'm really looking forward to the fall. I think we have a good fall ahead of us.
Okay, super cool. Because you took a friendly, or you joined up with the old friend over at Flagler, right? One of your teammates?
Oh, yes, Estella.
Yeah.
Yeah, she'll be joining us this fall.
Okay.
Yes,
awesome.
that's
Is this
right.
going to be her first year?
Her first
over
year,
there?
yes.
Okay, awesome.
Yes.
So you'll be able to kind of put her under your wing.
Yes, I can't wait.
Feeder system.
Because I have that freshman experience now, so I can
Yeah.
help her through that a little bit.
It seems like, I don't know, Lincoln's got a thing, because I know there's a couple people over on the guys' side that have gone the Lincoln Flagler route as well. So
Yeah.
I don't know. They've got some good scouts. over
They
there.
do.
Super cool, super cool. So I know as far as the reckoning, something that you said you were kind of hoping for, putting all those pieces together, putting a lot of stake in. What has been kind of result, or what were the building blocks of that, I guess, if that makes sense?
Yeah, I think so. It's definitely been a long journey, I think, for women's soccer in Tallahassee. So, growing up, we had multiple clubs here. I think we still do. But, ultimately I wanted to play at the highest level I could, and that had me traveling into Jacksonville for 5 years. And then I played over in Pensacola as well for some time. So I definitely, felt like at times I didn't have what I wanted in Tallahassee in a club aspect of things. And I think just helping be a part of encouraging the future to change and to pave a path for these higher level players who are younger now is just special. And I think I'm honored to be a part of that.
Super cool. See it, obviously you can see it in your emotions, in your investment there. What is the experience? I know you said you learned a lot, but what does the reckoning experience mean to you?
Yeah, I think it's just special. I think being a role model for some of the younger players is an honor. And I think having that, that being able to have seen the building blocks is special. I was a part of, I talked to Coach Ashley from the beginning, last February, was it? Something like that. Just okay, when is women's soccer coming to Tallahassee?
Yeah.
And, we had a conversation. She's like, yeah, actually, we're starting a team. And I was like, okay, how can I be a part of it? She was like, yeah, I mean, you were part of the inspiration for that. And I was like, okay, and how can I continue that? So I think just continuing to be a part of it and building and continuing to raise the level here is going to help us in the future.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, because there's a solid amount of talent right
For
here.
sure.
Not only the city, but you talk about even the big band, right? This kind of I don't want to say dead zone, but it seems like at times forgotten. Like you said,
For sure.
you had to go to Pensacola, you had to go to Jacksonville, and they know, just because of the more populated areas, high-profile soccer.
Absolutely.
But to have something here, I mean, we've seen it, in the All-Star games, you see players like Layla. It's no accident that they're going and playing over at UNF, over at Flagler, right?
Absolutely.
And continuing to build the game.
Yeah, for sure.
So what would you tell, so I know reckoning really big on empowerment, right? And of course the historical. Can I verb that?
Yes.
Is that
Yes.
a way to do that? Historical? Okay, I've never used it in that context. I know the history, right?
Yes.
But historical.
I like
All
it.
right. Impact of it. So maybe the young players out there maybe catching this, or if you had an interaction with maybe yourself 6 or 7 years ago, what would you say either to those players or to your past self?
I love that. Yeah, I think that's a great question. I think it's important, like I said, to just give it your best. I think, and that can be in all aspect of things. That can be in fighting for a team to start in Tallahassee. That can be giving it your best as okay, I'm not getting what I want here. how can I change that? And I think fighting for that is giving it your best shot. So I think that's important. And I think if any, younger players come out, watch me play, can they take away, my value of the game? Can they watch how hard I work? I hope that they'll take away, oh, Paige works hard. Paige wants something for her future. She's willing to work for it. So I definitely hope that I can have that impact on some of the players. And definitely for my past self, I would just say, like, if it makes you happy, keep doing it. Keep chasing after your dreams and keep chasing after your goals. And that's something I continue to tell myself now.
Super cool. That's across the board. Man, I feel like that applies to anybody, right?
Yeah,
Chase
absolutely.
your dreams. Super cool. Paige, well, I appreciate you coming up here, climbing what seems like 7-8 stories worth of stairs to get up here to the top. So I appreciate that. So I don't want you to leave without seeing that you maybe had the opportunity to not say something that you were intending to say. So anything that you'd like to express to the people, to the Reckoning family, maybe to mom, grandma tuning in here.
For sure. Just appreciate all the support, and definitely would say, come out, keep coming out to our games. We appreciate all the support we can get. So, it's wonderful to play back at Gene Cox Stadium, and if we can get, even just a few more fans out here, that makes a difference.
Absolutely. Super cool. Well, there you go. We're going to step out for a quick break because we have to honor our community supporters. But thank you, Paige, for joining us. The current franchise leader in goals scored. So you set the bar, Paige.
Yes.
We'll see if anybody can get you.
Thank you.
But thanks so much, Paige. So come right back with us here on the other side of the break here for Reckoning Live.
Whenever you need us, just reach out, and we'll be there to deliver the healthcare you need. Find a care site near you at hcafloridahealthcare.com. Consult a nurse. Call 844-70-NURSE. It's free. HCA Florida Healthcare.
I'll be there with a love that will shelter you. I'll be there with a love that will
Whenever you need us, just reach out, and we'll be there. With more locations, more experts, and more resources to deliver the healthcare you need, to comfort you and make you feel your best. Find a care site near you at HCA Florida Healthcare.
All right, and welcome back here to Reckoning Live. Here as we get ready to rock and roll here from Gene Cox Stadium. Of course, if you were with us here for the pregame, you heard the fantastic Paige Churchill, the Tallahassee woman of the Tallahassee Reckoning, and a really insightful, really informative, really cool interview there with Paige, hearing about her time with the franchise and out at school and just kind of the whole soccer scene here in Tallahassee. Andrew Jupe alongside Trenton Young, Joe Ward, James Ward bringing you the action here today. It's Brevard SC and your Tallahassee Reckoning. So, of course, we got the starting lineups ready to get going here, Trent. So we want to give some love to the starters here. Number 4, Jessica Schildkraut. Number 14, Estella Diaz. Number 16, Zemaya Hill. Number 17, Charlotte Reynolds. Number 20, Autumn Woodard. Number 23, Lita Frost. 28, Abby Griffin. Number 36, Eduarda Quiroz. Number 40, Jordan Land. Number 42, Sasha Manders. And in between the pipes, another start here for Saki Sachia here for your Tallahassee Reckoning. As you can see, starting lineups on the screen there for you here tonight. So, of course, a couple injuries. So the youth movement seems like it's always on, Trent, but now it's like double on. And luckily, the reserve team is ready to rock and roll. And, of course, helping fill in the gaps. And that's the beauty of the Reckoning franchise here, building the soccer scene top to bottom here in Tallahassee, Trent.
Well, exactly, Jupe, and that's why they have the reserve team, correct? So that in case of injuries or whenever they're shorthanded, they can call some of these players up who are already in form. They've been training with the team. They know the team mindset and the scheme and everything, and, you know, just next woman up mentality down here.
Absolutely. Who's next? So we can see Autumn, one of the elder stateswomen here for the Reckoning, taking the coin toss here today. So, of course, referee squad, Casey Anderson, Amari Clark, and John Hentz. So there we go. Of course, if you heard the PA announcer, Joe Senna, we have the Cairo High School color guard with us here today. So we're going to step aside here as they present the colors, and we have our national anthem.
Everyone, please remove your hats and continue to stand for the playing of our national anthem.
And already, there we go. National anthem off and away. Thank you once again. Here to the Cairo High School Junior Navy ROTC. Here coming down the beauty of a community club here right by the Florida-Georgia line. So, of course, Cairo, Georgia, up in Grady County, up in the Peach State, Trent, but just a short drive down here to Gene Cox Stadium. Part of the beauty of a community club here, as you can see, reckoning in the dark uniforms tonight, Trent. What do you think of the threads out here?
Those are sleek, Jupe. This is the first time we've seen them at home this season, and they are looking clean. Luckily, the sun's going down, and, I think that's a perfect time to wear a darker jersey, so hopefully the ladies are comfortable out there tonight in it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Of course, the visitors from Brevard, the Riptide, here rocking the bright pink. So whether by design that the Reckoning wanted to break out the dark unis, or they were just being gracious hosts, Trent, we've now seen both of the primary kits here for your Tallahassee Reckoning. Do you have a favorite between the two?
Yeah, I'd actually go with this one. I've seen the pink a few times, but this one really popped out tonight. Maybe it's just recency bias, but looking real sleek. I kind of like the faded design into the pink at the bottom.
Faded.
Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So hopefully we can crease the net with a couple of these jerseys on here a couple times. This is a very interesting battle that we have here tonight. Both clubs who have results against Brookhouse and a couple other teams here in the table. But as both of these teams are growing, new organizations in the USLW, growth is key here, right? The big impact of this franchise. Hey, this is kind of maybe who's next situation for the members of this league. You got the old guard, right? Way down in South Florida and, of course, down in the Tampa area and then over in Jacksonville. That seems to be kind of steering the ship. So it goes for this gauntlet of a conference, Trent.
Yeah, no kidding, Ju. It was been a rough couple games here. Been on the road the last few weeks, and just happy that the Reckoning are able to come back home tonight. We've seen them get a few huge results so far this season, and hopefully they can do that tonight for their home crowd again.
Yeah, absolutely. But the one common theme going through here, Trent, is, and you see this a lot of times in lower league soccer, the home cooking. The Reckoning have played really well here at home.
Oh, yeah.
And there's still a lot of points on the table to be had. So this is match day 10. So including this one, there's 3 to go. They could get as high as 4th in the table here. This is an evenly matched matchup based on the current table, as we say match 100 times. But it should be a fun one here tonight. And from the Reckoning perspective, obviously you have a couple injuries. Of course, your Tallahassee woman, Paige Churchill, who we talked to pregame, is the headliner in that. But you got to be pretty confident coming back to the Gene, I should say, and having an opportunity to take down a new franchise who's going to be your competitor in this new kids on the block situation.
Absolutely, Jupe. And, looking over at the bench for Brevard tonight, it looks like they've only got one substitute, so we'll see if that's able to play into the Reckoning's advantage later on in this game tonight.
Absolutely. So that will be huge as this one gets dropped back here to Griffin. And we have a couple call-ups here coming from the reserve team. Stella Diaz, Lita Frost, Natalie Nelson. Not their first time up here playing with the senior team, but back into the action. And like you talked about it, the beauty of the reserve team and how this franchise is looking to go top to bottom from development, from that really high school or even pre-high school onward to some players who are just getting out of their graduate school years.
Yeah, it's definitely been a big leap, but, just a huge success for the Reckoning to go out and get the season started and get a few results early and, just get the organization going here in year one, Jupe.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As we had a little offensive venture there, Jordan Land, the Saxe, Texas native, getting us going. She's going to be one of the focal points here offensively. Of course, had that big goal last time that the Reckoning were back here in the friendly confines of the Gene with a big 1-1 draw against Palm City Americanas, Trent. who the Reckoning actually controlled the majority of that game. So a tie result, they almost had an opportunity to take down Palm City, who's currently sitting at second in the table right now, Trent. They're one of those big dogs that we were talking about here at the top of this conference.
Yeah, Jupe, and I mean, that was the last time we played here. So, you know, going back to your point earlier, they just seem to play up a little bit once they're here in front of their home crowd. So a team evenly matched, you got to go ahead and give the advantage to the Reckoning tonight.
And people forget it's tough on the road, Trent.
Yeah, no
It's
kidding.
tough on the road. As we hear a nice little offensive spell going back here, giving chase. Here for the Reckoning. See what kind of opportunities present itself. Of course, the first game of the Gene here we've seen without Churchill. So Woodard doing the captaincy duties tonight. And it feels like Woodard's got to be on one here soon, Trent. Something in the air. You can't keep Woodard out of the goal forever.
No, we've seen so many glimpses, and she's been so close all season long. So it's just inevitably the dam's going to break.
Yeah, absolutely. Such a fun player to watch on the attack. So she's kind of on that front line. It looks like they're going back to the 4-3-3 here. And so she's going to be kind of that left winger, so to speak, as this one comes Hill down the near side, centering ball, dangerous. Looking for Manders here centrally, picked out well here by Land. Tried to scoop back up and played back into it. Here's Woodard from 20 out and a rip just over the crossbar there, but a dangerous take from the former Louisiana Tech player.
She must have heard you, Ju, because she let that thing fly quick. But
Well, she looked ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
She was first one here on the field today, and she looked locked in. And I know she's been threatening here this season, and something about it just speaks. It's like, man, it feels like Woodard's going to crease the sheet here tonight.
well, and then in the first game of the season, she played in that same role, that left winger, and she was excellent. I think that might have been her best game all season so far. So see her back in that role tonight. I mean, big things are coming.
Absolutely. So we have a goal kick coming out of the back here for Brevard SC, which we know it's a big county down there in Brevard. They're coming out of Melbourne as this one's played down the line here. Shieldkraut, nice centering ball to Land. It's going to skip back around, drop back to Hill. Deflection's going to get on frame, but keeper up to the task here for the visitors.
And Zamaya Hill getting the start tonight. We've been wondering when she was going to finally get back up here, and we know that she's got plenty of goal-scoring prowess, so hopefully she can net one or two tonight, Jude.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
UF commit. She had like 50 or 60 goals her senior year, something ridiculous. It was like 30, but it was a lot.
Her, absolutely. Of course, coming from Mosley, I believe she, in her sophomore and her senior year, she broke her own goal-scoring record. I know she's triple digits for a high school career.
Insane.
Unofficially, I've been told it's 102 goals for the Dolphins over in Mosley. Ball over the top here, looking for Woodard. And this one's going to be scooped out here by Brevard. And once again on a offensive attack here is Gent for Brevard. Spills it out of play. And like you said, Trent, this is going to be interesting to watch. Obviously, the shade kind of settling in. We've cooled off. At one point, we did hit triple digits.
Oh, yeah.
Big 100 spot earlier today. So only having 12 women in the lineup here today is going to be a test of will. Nice through ball. Hill into the box. Centering ball requires a save, and it's spilled out of danger, but a nice, dangerous rip from Hill near side.
Another one right on cue. Who's next? Charlotte?
There you go, maybe so.
Stella?
This one out to the perimeter, trying to turn the corner over on the far side. Looks like Mander centering ball, and they're going to say out of play back for a goal kick here for Brevard, but a good, aggressive, attacking start here first 6 minutes. I'm feeling pretty confident. What about yourself?
Yeah,
Trent?
I mean, it's been pretty much all TSC. It feels like Brevard's only gotten the ball into TSC's defensive half only once or twice so far. So, I mean, just keep the pressure on them, and eventually one of them's going to go in. We hope.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Though soccer is a cruel game sometimes.
Yeah,
Trent.
I had to preface that.
Been around the game for long enough to know that. Doesn't take too much run time. Free to get the blessings and the curses of the soccer powers that be. It looks like an early corner for the visitors here.
Yeah, we're talking about how they're not getting into our half and then immediately get a corner.
And this is, of course, with this formation, a new combination players out here in the back. Obviously, Griffin is going to be kind of one of your mainstays, but shuffle of the deck here for the Reckoning. So really interested to see how they'll do on their adjustment. Header flashes across goal. Sachia will get the secondary ball coming out of the back. Put over the top, one back by the visitors. Of course, you have Frost on the back line. And then they're also going to have Diaz on the back line here, Trent.
We got Abby Griffin back there too, but she's got different colored cleats on. So it's got Autumn Woodard here.
Oh, a beautiful through ball to Land. One-on-one with the keeper. And Jordan Land, Saki, Texas, put it on in the Reckoning with the early advantage.
Well, Woodard didn't get her goal, but that was an incredible ball through, man. And then just great poise from Manders there, one-on-one.
Absolutely.
Oof. One of the better goals we've seen this season.
Absolutely. Bottom left corner. But that through ball from Woodard was an absolute beauty. So how about a captain setup? Ooh, ooh, ooh. A little assist there. Jordan Land, no doubt about it, slides it in. And the Reckoning, the home cooking, starting off good. A hearty start, as it were, here, Trent. Jordan Land, 8th minute. Let's get it going.
That was a quick one.
There you go.
But good stuff. I mean, a lot of pressure, a lot of momentum for the Reckoning early on. And like I said, Woodard in that facilitator role only takes 2 touches and is playing a great ball through. Just absolutely cut through the defense. Manders one-on-one.
Shot here from Reynolds. It's going to take a deflection, and the lively Reynolds rips from about 30. Love her attitude as far as never fearful of going after goal.
Absolutely not. It seems like each one she takes, she just gets more and more confidence. Like, okay, I'm getting closer. One of these is going to drop.
Yeah. Really fun player to watch who's gotten a lot of great minutes, of course. Just a rising junior at Childs. So we talk to Paige, obviously, but the future is so bright here in Tallahassee. And on the women's side, there's a lot of talent here in the city and in the Big Bend. Woodard gets up for that one. Looks like it grazes the top of her head, but able to be kept in play. Last touch by the visitors. Well done here. Oh, say off of
Very
the
slight deflection.
Reckoning. So back to the visitors here. So my mistake. They look to get things rolling. Chamberlain and the Riptide. Here. There we go. Of course, Land as we get the go-ahead. Oh, and here's Hill. She's got a one-on-one. Tried to put it up over top of the defender to get it back centrally, but the defender up to the task here. But early action for Hill as well, and she's been fun to watch. This front line has been getting after it tonight here early, already only 10 minutes in. What a ball! And Woodard able to scoop it back in play. Really great movement here from the Reckoning. As this one's collected, Reynolds from 30. She's in range, Trent. From 25 this time, Reynolds takes a rip and wins another corner. So it's not just like wildly taking shots. These are calculated, precise moves that Reynolds is going after. Loving it.
Oh, absolutely. No, I mean, she's just on the edge of the box. Like you said, she wins another corner. So even more momentum for the Reckoning early on.
There you go. So an opportunity over here on the near side to get it going. So to be a right-footed outswinger, it looks like Manders will have the responsibility of the corner kick. Of course, the Thomas University player here.
Ooh, they went to Woodard again. She got on it this time, put it on frame.
There you go. Maybe that's the recipe for success, Trent. In open play, the facilitation role, we've already seen it.
But on the set
Maybe
pieces.
the set piece is where we get it done here for Woodard tonight.
Okay.
As this one leaks out of the back, Reynolds back on the ball. She's in range, but decides to put it back on the ground. Here as the visitors kind of poke this one free. It's collected back up Manders. And they'll pull this one back with a foul here on Reynolds. Aggressive play. Usual fare here with Reynolds.
Yeah, smart foul, though. Everybody's able to get back and set on defense, so nothing malicious. Just stops play.
Service over the top here. Going to hit the back line. Frost will win the header. Secondary ball picked up by the visitors. They'll dump it and try to have control here. When you're looking at the visitors, probably the person you want to keep an eye on is number 6, Katie Nielsen, but then also Kaylee Smith as well, 6 and 7. Of course, Kaylee Smith not too long ago had the initial goal, which helped them defeat Brookhouse. And here's Hale on the attack, try to get through the double team and gets pinched off there. Goes down in the box, ref says play on. Visitors trying to build out a back, and here's Smith right on cue. Weighted ball here down the sideline. Good chase here by Manders to fight back from this one and gets cast down to the ground, but a great battle by Manders to put in the work, come all the way back and track this one down the near side.
She's a little slow to get up there. Took a tough tumble, but, I mean, yeah, like you said, just incredible pace to get back and try back on defense and win the ball.
So Reynolds will scoop this one up on the fringe of the defending third to Diaz. I appreciate Diaz because she always wears the headband and makes herself very distinguishable. What a ball, Hill to Woodard. They say offside, but they're letting it run for a little bit. Now it gets pulled back. But that was a gorgeous service here from Zamaya Hill. Fantastically placed ball there. And I'm going to say, Trent, UF's getting a deal come here this fall.
No kidding, man. Absolutely. I mean, she's been taking them on the dribble. That was an incredible pass from wing to wing, able to show her technique and her vision.
Loose ball goes in the area. Woodard, she'll put a battle in against Gammon here from Brevard. Really well done to keep it in play. Visitors collect the loose ball. Great step over on that far hand side here from the Reckoning as they once again regain control. Reynolds tries to thread it through to Manders. Brevard looking to build out of the back. As a Reckoning with a little bit of soft pressure here. And now Land's going to turn it up a little bit here. Try to raise the intensity. See if they can't get something simple off a takeaway out of the back here. Shieldkraut does well to win the throw. They say a Brevard throw. So back to the visitors. They'll get us going once again here. Frost in a battle here defensively against Ghent. Some movement going there. So Frost is going to be that right center back. Griffin is going to be the left center back. Diaz is going to be that right back here on the wing. And now some advancing play on the break for the Reckoning. Land is in the box. She's thinking about a second. Gets some service coming centrally, but deflected over on the far side and spilled out. I believe that was Quiroz, who's playing left back today. Jump starting the attack.
Yeah, was able to read the pass and take it on the break and gets all the way down in the box. Plays a good ball across, just takes a deflection.
This one gets
Great idea.
slid through centrally, looking for some service. Diaz up to the task, but here comes some pressure from Brevard, able to get it out of play and make sure it's not a corner. Really well done by Diaz, dealing with the pressure there from the visitors.
Yeah, that's tough. She's one-on-one, but great recovery, able to see it out and saves the corner.
We know Diaz has got a little speed. So that's what's being interesting here is, and if I was on the Brevard side, I'd be a little concerned. You have a lot of midfielders back on that back line here tonight. Those kind of traditional midfielders and distributors. And we've already seen Quiroz on the far side, adventurous play going forward, right? I think that may be something that we can see here kind of unpack for the Reckoning here today. Diaz definitely falls in that category as well.
Oh, for sure. And then whenever they do that and they're pushing up out wide, then that allows Woodard and Hill to come inside, and then you've got 3 forwards in the box. So obviously got to trap back quick on defense, but love the strategy that the Reckoning are deploying early tonight, Jupe.
As this one spills out wide, the kiddos, and she's able to keep it in play here. Draws it back to Woodard. Nice little bit of clash. She goes behind the back. Through to Manders. Back to kiddos, and here's all the offensive attack. Lays it. A beautiful ball go above the 18. Shieldkraut loads up. And a little late and takes down her defender, but it looks like Shieldkraut was loading up for a screamer there. Their former Rutgers University player, the Scarlet Knights, almost takes a rip there.
Yeah, she would have had a good look at it. Just gets the ball about a second late, unfortunately, but what an incredible ball from Kyrdos.
Mm-hmm. I'm loving the agency that Kiddos has taken on that left-hand side. Hey, they're going to give it to me. I know Woodard is going to be an attacking sense. She's ready to go. She kind of folds in and allows kind of the overlap. And it looks like unless Brevard fixes something that Reckoning are going to run that pretty often. It's been very successful already 3 or 4 times here. We're not even at the 20-minute mark.
No, absolutely not. And then you got Abby Griffin dribbling all the way up to the 40-yard line to allow those outside backs to push up a little bit more. Bring the whole line up. So Brevard's got their work cut out for them tonight.
Hill down here, guarding that line, able to win a throw. This one's back to the Reckoning here. Diaz will take it as they put it back to the top line. It'll be cleared here, temporarily out of play by the visitors. Foderero of Brevard. Headed into the box here as Manders will pick it up. Takes it into a wide position here as we go 19th minute. Tries to split the double team there. What a fight here by Manders. Referee doesn't like it, and they'll call it back for a free kick. Love the aggressiveness by Manders there. She's getting after it today.
Oh, absolutely. She's going to get one, too.
Everybody is going to get one here.
You get a goal. You get a goal.
If only, man. At one point, when Lamb put that in, Reckoning we're on pace for 10 goals.
I mean, there's still 70-plus minutes tonight, Jupe, so don't count it out.
Absolutely. It only takes one every 9. If we get one in the next 30, we can stay on pace. So this one's going to fall back to Reynolds, outside to Quiroz.
Get a Suchia goal and stoppage.
Oh, that would be wild. As this one goes through, the initial ball, Shieldkraut does well. Oh, tried to hit the overlap to Woodard. It's going to be cut out here by Brevard, who's going with a strong defensive posturing tonight. It looks like having the lone forward up top, Gant. It seems, of course, like we said, only bringing 12 players on the active roster here.
Yeah, and I was taking a look at the keeper earlier, and she doesn't have, like, a normal keeper jersey. And it looks like she's just got one of their warm-ups on underneath. So that very well may not even be a traditional goalkeeper that they have back there tonight.
That's the beast sometimes here with lower league soccer, Trent. I mean, when you have such a turn and burn schedule, you have players coming off of their spring season, getting ready for their fall season, and there's so many games in this compact 2 months. It really takes a toll on you. As Woodard in a very dangerous position goes square. Oh, and Land goes top shelf. Doubles the delight. And it's a Texas kind of Saturday night here in Tallahassee. As the Sac Sea native puts in her second, and we just hit the 20-minute mark. Jordan Land cashes it home, but another fantastic setup by Autumn Woodard.
Phenomenal. I mean, that's the facilitator role. I hope she stays in that for every game all season. Jordan Land is really making a case to stay up top all season, but I guess she might have heard us, and she doesn't want anyone else getting the goals. She's just going to hog them all herself tonight.
Look at that. And, of course,
huge.
Sorry, Paige, but Jordan Land is now the current franchise leader all time in goals scored.
She comes in trailing Paige by 1, and now she's leading by 1, and
there you go.
We got a lot of game left.
This is very true. So Jordan Land has put in 3 of the last 4 goals here for the Reckoning.
That's a heater if I've ever heard of one, Jupe.
There you go.
Great ball.
Threads through here. Oh, that's a dangerous one. Just over the crossbar and underneath the football upright. And I misspoke, Trent. She actually has the last 3 goals here.
Ooh.
So it'll be goal kick here for the Reckoning. Chia will look to take this one.
You think Woodard's going to get another assist or a goal next?
Oof.
Which one comes first? I mean,
Does it count if she assists herself? Can we do 2 for 1? Or is it exclusive? Like if she passes it long, runs out,
I'll
picks it
I'll
up.
credit that.
Yeah.
I was going to say, I've been around the game for a minute. I've never heard of a self-assist, but when you square it off like that, that makes sense.
It's kind of like the old hockey assist. It's kind of more like a folklore element, less
Sure.
of an actual something that you've seen in the scorer's book here as far as soccer's concerned, but you know.
Street cred.
There you go. Free kick coming out of the back here for Tallahassee.
Abby's looking to Woodard, it looks like.
Going direct here. Brevard's going to take this one. Woodard does well to pick up the loose ball, though. Centering ball over here to Reynolds. Of course, got the classic lime green cleats on. Back to Quiroz. Of course, Quiroz had that Brookhouse goal on the road to help secure the tie. Both of these squads, and we talk about Brevard and Reckoning, have both beaten Brookhouse by 2 and both tied Brookhouse by 2. So I don't know how often you like to incorporate the transitive property when you kind of are doing evaluations here, but just from a box score standpoint,
On paper.
this would lend itself to allegedly on paper being a very close contest. But fun one so far here. Of course, you got a Reckoning goal, a couple of Reckoning goals out of it here in the early going with the 2-0 advantage, both coming from Jordan Land.
And both assists coming from Autumn Woodard.
There you go.
2 phenomenal balls.
Indeed.
That last one was, I mean, just a straight alley-oop to land.
It felt
She
that
put
way,
that in the top
right?
of the net. That
Yep.
was a dunk and a half.
Yep, absolutely.
10 out of 10 from me.
Put it low. The keeper's going to have a chance. So why don't I just blast the net to smithereens over the top.
She'll never see it coming.
Long service. They try to put this one back in play. Great job by Zamaya tracking back in order to win this one out of the defensive zone. Some traffic for Shieldkraut. Probably takes her back to her residency back in New Jersey with that looked like a little fender bender over there on the Jersey Turnpike.
Yeah, that was like a pick,
Yep.
a screen.
So throw in here on the near side. Say Brevard will take it. As Manders is locked in here in that defensive role.
Locked in is a great way to describe it.
Centering ball, a little danger here. Sachia off the deflection. The defense did really well. Reynolds and Frost, it looked like, to step in front, get a piece of that one. Keep Sachia safe back there between the pipes. Going over the top, spills out. Woodard, great reaction time, able to keep that one in place. Skirt! Beautiful.
Oh, my goodness, stop.
It's a highlight reel.
Oh, my gosh, stop
Go,
it.
Autumn, go. Able to switch it over here to Stella. That was fun.
The Autumn Woodard Club.
Yeah. It's the Woodard way, threads
Love
it
it.
through. Looking for land again. Already got a brace.
And I love Shieldkraut just going and filling in that position. She's like, okay, Autumn, you go do your thing. I got you. I got you covered.
This one drop back here to the Brevard keeper. Quiroz getting forward on the attack here. Visitors able to collect the loose ball. Chance to counter if they want to run with it. Overlapping run here, and it's a 5-on-5. Tried to thread it through traffic, spills it out wide here to Smith. Bouncing ball is going to twist towards frame, but luckily for the Reckoning perspective, will spill out for a goal kick. Is that one? Thought it was going to be across, and then all of a sudden started twisting a little goalward, Trent.
So that's the second one tonight, and it seems like that's almost like their offensive game plan. She's clearly a left-footed player because that's the second shot that's been inches away.
Mm-hmm.
So just play it to her out wide. Hopefully she's got some space and time and can just chip it back post like that. So hopefully Suchia can pick up on that early.
There you go. Dropped on off. Over the top here. Delivery from Griffin. Secondary ball, one back by the visitors. It's Cardoso taken down in the middle of the park, and the visitors will win a free kick right over by that Rickards Raiders logo. Here, of course, just a stone's throw away here from the beautiful Jeancock Stadium. As you can see, the LCS, Leon County Schools. Shout out to our 5 big public high schools. 5 of the 10 high schools here in the city. Centering ball, Sachia does really well, no hesitation. Comes out and snags that one. And the Tyler Junior College goalkeeper, once again, showing some class.
Yeah, looking very sharp, very in control of the game right now. And she should feel that way with the back line she's got playing in front of her.
There you go. Kind of self-fulfilling cycle of success, right?
Yes.
Good back line makes a good keeper makes a good back line. This one's going in defensively. Reckoning tried to pinch it off with a double team. Nice collect and clear here by Frost to dispel the initial danger, but it'll be out for a visitor throw-in. Farderero will get things going for the visitors. Hill doing a great job coming back defensively. Centering ball to Diaz. Tried to thread it through, but a good step up here by Brevard. And now they've got a little bit of an opportunity here. A little 5-on-6 as they get some numbers forward. Reynolds able to clear it out of the danger initially, but the Riptide able to lock it in here to the defending third of the Reckoning.
Great
Look
stuff
at the
from
press
Manders.
there as Manders gets slung down to the ground. And she's a, seems like a wanted player here tonight. Everybody is trying to take Manders down here today.
I mean, they have to. Her work rate is unreal. She's just winning every single ball, so that's the only way you can stop her is bring her down like that. And she's not too happy about it, but I'm sure that's not the first or last time she'll be fouled tonight.
There you go. Manders making her 6th straight start since coming in from Thomas University. Of course, been a fun addition to the squad since coming into the fold. Of course, from Dunstable, England. So we've got some England represented here. We've got some Brazil represented here. The beautiful game, the worldwide game at work here in our lovely capital city of the Sunshine State here, Trent.
The all-inclusive game.
It's just part of a Saturday at the Gene.
That's
Great
it.
through ball. Shield Kraut. Here does Amaya Hill. Try to get the centering ball. Has Landon Woodard centrally here as we get into the 30-minute mark. So we're about a third of the way through the action. Reckoning with the 2-goal advantage, both by way of Jordan Land, 8th and 20th minute. Oh, and Reckoning hopefully trying to get on a third here as Manders will track back here over to Reynolds. She's in range, 35 yards from goal. Over to Queiroz. Has Woodard wide. Nice little one-on-one battle here. Tried to thread it through to Manders over the top of the box, but great work right here from Queiroz to recover. Woodard going down the corner. Service! Ended up going goalward and hits the side netting just on the outside. So it'll be a goal kick here for the visitors. But Woodard, look out.
She said, I'm tired of giving out these assists. Let me get on that score sheet.
Yeah, a little threatening here. So that'll take us to the water break here. Love a good water break when you see the high 90 temperatures on the scoreboard over there. So, of course, while we have the break, we want to kind of give it up for some of our sponsors and opportunities here helping build the game in Tallahassee. But, of course, some other cool events going on in the area. Don't sleep on soccer camp with the Reckoning. Of course, starting a week from Monday. So if you haven't registered, first of all, what are you doing? Second of all, it's okay. But also, get in there because time is of the essence.
Amen.
Of course, dream big with no limits, girls and boys. We are less than 2 weeks away. Just over a week, actually. So it is getting close. From Tallahassee Reckoning Soccer Camp on June 24th through the 28th. Register online at tlhreckoning.com to reserve your spot for a week of fun and training with coaches Ashley Fontes, Coach Izzy Cotto, and Coach Stacy Wilson, along with your Tallahassee Reckoning players. How about that?
That's a good deal, dude.
And that would be sweet, right? Like
You
if I was I'm above the age limit. So I looked into it. I talked, and Coach Fontes said, listen, fool, you stick to doing the games here on Saturdays and Wednesdays and Friday nights, but this one's for the kids, right? We're trying to build up the game. You're just an old man, so you stay up there. You stay in your lane. But you talk about it. Former FSU record setter and Coach Fontes, you have an Olympic gold medalist and 3-time national collegiate champion, and you have the highly renowned Coach Cotto out there. What a squad to be shaping your little ones. You can't get better brains here in the Tallahassee community when you're talking about soccer. And also, it's good for the kids. Get out there. Let's get some exercise out here. Let's get out there.
Also,
let's
it's
have some fun.
It's the summer. Let's get these kids out of our hair and send them off to camp.
There you go. Right? Shut off the Switch, right? Shut off the PlayStation. Shut off the Xbox. Let's go to soccer camp. Coach Cotto, Coach Fontes, Coach Wilson, they got your back.
Let's learn something. Let's get active.
Summer camp with the Reckoning. So as we get active back in this game here from a sultry Saturday night here in the Southeast, capital of the Sunshine State, we're just above the third mark here, 30 plus, as we go forward here for the Tallahassee Reckoning. And we told you that the Reckoning like them some home cooking back at home up 2-0. Last time Reckoning up 2-0 was against Brookhouse, first ever franchise game.
How did that end, Jupe?
They held on for the big 3 points. Of course, an opportunity here, Reckoning, to climb the ladder of the table. There's still a lot of points here. Of course, we talked about this Brevard game. You know, you've got Tampa coming here on Wednesday, and then you've also got Swan City, who you played a really good game with a couple weeks ago. Zamiah Hill now getting over here to the near side corner. Look at the turn behind the back to the left foot. Has Diaz in support. The visitors will go on the clearance here and throw it back. But you saw Hill's ready to go, dude.
Yeah, she's trying to take him 2-on-1 in the box, and she almost got it, too.
Yep. It's almost like, hey, Paige, Kendall, I got you tonight.
Take the week off.
Yeah.
Take a couple weeks off. Take the season off. We got you.
Yeah. But all jokes aside, wishing
Yes,
them
speedy recoveries.
Speedy recoveries here. So, of course, getting ready for some big seasons coming up here. Of course, Paige headed back to Flagler for her second year, which the current right back here tonight, just finishing up her senior year, recent graduate. So congrats to Stella. Lincoln graduate, also headed to Flagler here. So a little bit of a pipeline going, but it'll cool. Paige will be able to kind of share that freshman experience. But Woodard on the service again. Here's Hill. Try to get the centering ball. Slid out, but will be a Tallahassee corner. So that probably means Manders and Woodard on the back post, question mark?
We can only assume
Back
at this
of the
point.
net? Back of the net?
Third time's a charm.
There you go. That's what I'm saying. So hopefully so, as Manters in no rush going over here to the corner on the near side.
Quick question just to go back to Flagler and Miss Churchill.
Yes.
You think she's going to get more than the 14 goals she got as a freshman in year 2?
Dang.
That's such a big number. In 17 games, 14 goals.
14 is a lot.
That's astounding.
Going towards the back. I'm going to say yes.
Yeah, I agree.
We're going the over.
And we've seen it this season, right? Like, that's not just speculative. Like, we know that she's got that dog in her.
Absolutely.
We've seen her rip it from 20-25, put in the top corner.
There you go. There you go. It almost makes me wonder what the St. Augustine, like, car dealerships are doing. Not locking up Paige is some kind of NIL deal.
No kidding.
Here, it feels like kind of low-hanging fruit. We see it at other areas of soccer is like, you know, you have one specific brand that coming to mind that's really circular, resembling something of what you would see for a soccer ball here. It kind of seems like a missed opportunity for some of those business people. Through ball, looking for Manders here back in Tallahassee. And this one's a little strong, but some nice combination. Good thought here. Look at Hill coming back, ripping that one off the opponent's thigh. And Reckoning back in position, squared it off here, and it'll be a foul once again Manders being chopped down. She's wanted out there, Trent.
She's getting ticked, and I don't blame her. I mean, she's throwing the arms up at the ref like, what are we doing here? Why? This is like the 10th time I've been fouled in 36 minutes. Where's the card?
There you go.
They're targeting me. No, she's not really saying all that, but, she just wants to be treated like everyone else.
There you go. Service here from Reynolds. In-swinger's going to go on frame off the crossbar. Rebound. Woodard off the deflection, and it'll be a Tallahassee corner. Oh, I thought that was it.
I did too,
That
man.
was almost the moment. How about that ball by Reynolds? She's like, if I make it look like a cross, but then it goes on frame, maybe we still get a goal out of this?
I mean, that's like the third time we've seen her hit the post. Those
Yeah.
are so close, dude.
Perfectly weighted ball on that free kick attempt, and Reckoning on it tonight. This one goes back post. Woodard gets a glancing header, but able to scoop it up and put it back into play here in the box. And it'll end up as Tallahassee throw-in here on the near side. So good little save there. And the attack is very much still on here for the Reckoning as we get into the corridor. About 8 minutes to go here before the halftime whistle, not incorporating stoppage, which we assume we'll get a couple minutes with the water break and a couple goals in the back of the net for your hometown heroes.
Man, I wanted Autumn to get that, dude. Gosh. And even Charlotte. I wanted that to go in for Charlotte as well, but
Yeah, no doubt. Stella, good step here. This one going centrally. Shield Kraut squared out of this one, and the visitors will rip it away. They look to counter now with a opportunity for them. That's where they're going to live with this defensive formation that they're going with is on the counterattack, but Reckoning good pressure, bottlenecking it here in the midfield, and going to gain back possession.
yeah, two great steps there from Schildkraut and Reynolds to kind of put off Brevard and just kind of had to fling a pass forward and it goes out.
Indeed.
Great pressure.
This one's taken away. Really well done here by Frost. Oof. Great shield by Zamaya Hill. Service. Is it going to get to Woodard? Deflected back to the keeper. That is a intentional pass back, it looked like. And so the keeper had to deal with it with the feet. Manders will pick up the loose ball. And Woodard had to get back on side here. Good thought, though, from that attacking front line. Good hustle on all parts.
Could Woodard be any closer to scoring?
That's true. The season as a whole, not just tonight.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
But this game is like this season in a nutshell.
Absolutely. A great kind of picturesque embodiment of the season as a whole. Shield Kraut with the exterior run does well to keep it in play. The former Scarlet Knight threading it through to Hill, the future Gator. Back to goal. Great turn. Ooh. Opportunity to serve. Oh, she goes on frame, twisting towards the back post. Deflection.
Yes.
Woodard!
Yes!
In the back of the net. There it is. Taken out the trash, but a beautiful finish by Autumn Woodard. USF, Garner Webb, Louisiana Tech, back in the net here for the Tallahassee Reckoning. Her first goal with the Reckoning franchise. Third on the board here for TLH.
And deservedly so, Jude.
There you go.
Finally the breakthrough that she has earned and deserved.
Absolutely. 40th minute goal. 3 aboard here for the Reckoning. Franchise record in a regular season conference USLW game. 3 goals now in the net here for the Reckoning.
Also, most games ever at the Gene for the Reckoning.
There you go. Got to get mean at the Gene here, Trent. We told you they love the home cooking, and they are having a great time. So like we said, sometimes the table can be deceiving, and you see the Reckoning, of course, ready up for the challenge here going forward here today. 3 aboard.
And like we said at the beginning, Jupe, on paper, obviously completely evenly matched, had the same results against the same exact opponent. But that's why we don't play games on paper, man. Yeah, that's why you got to make the drive up here to the Gene.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Of course, tenacity.
Grit.
Part of the pillars of the Reckoning franchise. Of course, those 8 core values here. And there has been some serious tenacity out here tonight from Tallahassee. A tenacious Tallahassee squad.
That's the second time you've been alliterative tonight.
How about it?
Sultry Saturday. Tenacious Tallahassee. I got to step it up.
As the shade cascades here. We got about a third of the field covered, so by the time we get to the second half, I think the women will be a little more pleased with the conditions as opposed to what they were in warm-ups.
Oh, there she goes again.
Great ball here. Lands back to Woodard by way of Hill. She's on the hockey assist. Woodard! Back-to-back. She's broken the seal. And once you open the door, you can't close it back in. Woodard, the second time in 2 minutes. And the Reckoning are rolling here on Saturday at the Gene. 4-0 Reckoning.
When it rains, it pours.
There you go. And that's some beautiful teamwork right there. We got the hockey assist from Hill, out to Land, over to Woodard. And smooth as gravy on the finish.
And it was just so fast. Yeah, she saw the keeper was off the line. Perfect finish from Autumn. And, I mean, she's got her shooting boots on tonight. I guess she changed them out at the water break.
Yeah, man. Absolutely.
She's going to let them fly left and right.
Threads it through here. The visitors seem a little more urgent now as they'll have an opportunity. If nothing else, seems part of the problem, really. The only chance it feels like when they can touch the ball is after they're taken out of the back of the net, Trent, so far here tonight.
It does feel that way, Jupe. Go ahead.
I was going to say, just got a corner kick coming here for the visitors. Looks like Katie Nielsen getting us going. This will be a right-footed in-swinger looking for it here. Centrally, bouncing around in the box. Great step there. Diaz able to meet it initially, get it out of danger, and it'll spill out. That was a huge block because that was really, besides that, going to be an open one on frame here for the Riptide.
Yeah, one of the more dangerous attacks that they've had so far in this game, but really only like the second or third legitimate chance that they've had, luckily.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Just one long ball over the top here. It's Chia to Woodard, looking for Manders. But Chamberlain for the Riptide will sort this one out. Gotta say, I like the namesake here for the visitors, though. Brevard Riptide.
It is pretty cool.
Of course, I mean, there is a pretty mean Riptide down there, South Florida, that Melbourne area. They can kind of get you sometimes going forward. This one's out for a goal kick here at the back as we look to get going.
She is setting up for the goal kick here. 20 seconds out from 45 minutes. Chia with a big kick out wide, looking for Woodard. Pulls it just a little bit to the left and out for a Brevard SC throw.
As we creep up on halftime here, Mr. Young. Of course, like we said, you definitely see 3-4 minutes going here. Woodard will spill it back here to Diaz. And this combination kind of coming from the back, circling around Diaz to Hill to jump-starting the attack here has kind of been the key that last kind of 20, 25 minutes. We saw it on the left. It looks like Brevard's kind of adjusted here, but then Reckoning have countered. Hey, let's bring it back this side. Get the future Gator goal scorer up on this one. As here's a takeaway right on cue. Has Land. She's kind of riding that offside line right now. So the former Dolphin dives down towards that end line, and it'll be out for a throw-in here on the near side.
She's just so strong on the ball, man. Every time you think that it's going to get taken away from her, she just pulls another trick out of her bag and loses a defender.
Absolutely. So be Diaz take the corner here. There's no official ruling here on stoppage, but we're about a minute deep. Hill back to goal, back to Diaz. One times it, going centrally, land in the area. Secondary ball for Shieldkraut. And threads it through, looking to sneak that one in here in the near post. Keeper up to the task here for the visitors. And cleared out of play.
Abby Griffin with a big head there. And she sees it out wide. Stella Diaz with a good ball back in. Manders just keeps getting taken down. I mean, luckily, none of the fouls have been too vicious or egregious. But she's probably just tired of being on the turf at this point. I can't blame her. But I say that, and then she pops right back up with the ball and plays a great ball out wide to Woodard. Autumn Woodard with a big left foot coming. Crosses it across the frame of goal. No one there. Jessica Shieldkraut gets a piece of it. Land gets a header. Goalkeeper almost spills the ball there to Zamaya. And that looks like we are going to be going to the half, Andrew Jupe.
Absolutely. So we'll get ready to march on out. Of course, we'll take a brief pause in the action, but don't go away. Don't go running too far. Maybe go grab some chips, come back. We've got a fantastic interview. We had Paige pregame. We have another one of your Reckoning stars coming up here at the break.
Superstar.
So we'll waste no time in cycling that back out. Come back here after the break. Reckoning Live, 4 big ones getting home here in the first half for your Tallahassee Reckoning. Of course, Jordan Land ×2. Autumn Woodard ×2 goals here. And the season race for the Reckoning Golden Boot is heating up in a big way here on a sultry Saturday in the capital city. Come right on back.
I'll be there with a love that
Whenever you need us, just reach out, and we'll be there to deliver the health care you need. Find a care site near you at hcafloridahealthcare.com. Consult a nurse. Call 844-70-NURSE. It's free. HCA Florida Healthcare.
I'll be there with a love that will shelter you. I'll be there with a love that will
Whenever you need us, just reach out, and we'll be there. With more locations, more experts, and more resources to deliver the health care you need, to comfort you and make you feel your best. Find a care site near you at hcafloridahealthcare.com.
I'll be there with a love that
Whenever you need us, just reach out, and we'll be there to deliver the health care you need. Find a care site near you at hcafloridahealthcare.com.
All right, welcome back here to Reckoning Live. We're joined with another guest here, 2-for-1 special. We had Paige in the pregame. Honored to have Kendall Sadberry join us today. Kendall, how are we doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
We're doing well. We're doing well. So thanks for taking some time, taking the long hike, which probably feels like, what, 6-7 flights of stairs coming up here. So Kendall with 2 L's. We made sure to get it right for you today.
Okay.
So for the people who may not know, or we're trying to, go through the franchise, right? Get you a little bit, tell your story, and because that's, I feel like, where people can, like, really latch on to. It's like, I want to root for her now that I know a little bit about what she's about. So in that realm, tell us a little bit about yourself, Kendall.
I am 14. I am an upcoming freshman at Childs High School. I am working towards playing soccer in college and hopefully pro. My dream schools are FSU and UNC.
Oh.
Yeah, Big
okay.
Ten. I have 2 dogs, Bo and Teddy, and yeah, it's good.
So that was the question, right? So you led into it. So I know you had a great career at Deer Lake, right? And so Deer Lake in the Child's zone, I was like, is she going to go outside? But full on, we're committed. Child's is the where we're going high school?
Where I'm going, yep.
Okay, awesome. So tell us about the previous season, going back to Deer Lake. A little bit about that journey.
That was a really fun. I mean, I had all my friends there. It was just basically a really fun season. I broke the school record for most goals, so that was good.
What's the number?
21.
What's the number? 21 in a single season?
And 21 goals in, I think, 10 games.
Wow.
In a single season. That was really fun. I played some center back and center forward.
Okay.
Followed by some of my teammates, actually on the Reckoning, Ellis Smeltzer, Gracie Gertison, and upcoming Kinsley and Emma.
Okay.
So a lot of upcoming Reckoning players.
Is it true? I was looking at the numbers. Is it true that you all didn't allow a goal all season?
No, we were 71-0 for goals. No goals. We had a really good defense.
And then won the championship in your bracket.
Yep.
Of course, here in the county.
Yeah.
Big stuff.
Yeah.
Big stuff. What was the best part, or like, what's your biggest takeaway from that season? Obviously, a lot of success, but what are you going to take from that experience?
I think, it was a confidence booster for me, and I feel like, I was working hard for my goal for the goal record, and I feel like just keep the drive, keep my motivation, don't lose confidence.
Super cool.
Yeah.
So you said you played center back, center forward,
And winger.
and wing.
Yes.
Okay. So we've seen you now similar for the Reckoning. Of course, early in the season, we saw you filling a little bit up top.
Yeah.
Obviously, second ever goal in franchise history. No
Yes.
big deal, but also kind of big deal.
Yeah.
And then we've also seen you play defense. How's that been? Or do you have a preference here on where you like to play?
I like scoring goals, but it also feels really good to beat somebody in a 1v1. So I like both of them, but I'm leaning toward outside back right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Super cool. Super cool. So what's kind of your approach as you kind of go in for it? You're in the game. What is a couple things, or maybe one thing that you're trying to do, or you try to do in your play style, if that makes sense?
A play style or like a goal for the game?
Either way.
My goal for the game is not to let any goals like on my side come, and to only let somebody pass me twice, if so. So, and then what was the other question?
That was basically it.
Okay.
What's your kind of goal?
Yeah.
I really appreciate your aggressiveness out there.
Yeah.
It feels like you're always in a battle, whether
Yeah.
you're on the top line or whether you're on the back line, kind of taking care of business. So
Yes.
super fun to watch from the outside perspective. So, of course, what's your, because Reckoning obviously historical event, way overdue here in the capital city. I feel like you're coming in at a perfect time here in your career to be involved in such a program. But what has the Reckoning experience been for you?
It's been a great learning experience getting coached by like these high-level coaches that have been so many places and teammates that are in college and doing amazing. I just feel like it makes me practice harder, it makes me train harder, and have a new thought of the game.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It doesn't help, or it doesn't hurt, sorry.
Yeah.
Having, your dream schools, right? You've got experience in the franchise with Florida State.
Yes.
And, of course, Coach Wilson. Are you having them kind of shake their resources a little bit?
No,
Hey,
not yet.
slide some game tape over?
Not yet.
Okay. Still got, 3+ years at least to
Yeah,
be getting that out?
3+.
Obviously, your full kind of career going forward.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you looking forward to coming this ongoing fall? Because obviously you'll be at Childs,
Yes.
new school, but based even on your reckoning teammates,
Very
you'll have a
excited.
lot of familiar faces.
Yes, I'm very excited for my reckoning fall team and Childs. I'm excited for like the high school experience. I've been waiting for that, and then for Taylor H reckoning in fall, I'm just so excited because it's gonna be great. Great tournaments, great players, levels, everything. Good coaches. Coaches get to see me. I get to work hard, work for my spot.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And going against some high caliber players, I mean, this conference
Yeah.
is a gauntlet.
Yes,
There's a lot of talent here, but
definitely.
y'all been getting after it, right?
Yeah, we've been trying.
What's been, let's go to the game. What was your favorite part of the first half?
Ooh, either Autumn's half volley. That was a really good goal. I love volleys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's got 2 here now. Jordan's got 2 here tonight.
Yes, Autumn and Jordan have just been on fire.
Yeah.
Jordan's cross and then, Autumn's cross, Jordan's finish. We've been really good. Our movement, passing, everything.
Okay. So we have 4 over the line, right? I mean, I like to think that, I'm not necessarily a math person, but
Yeah.
we've only played half. So 4 times 2 is 8.
I think we're going to get 8.
Which means there's 4 more. Who's next? If you had to guess, give me a player that you think would be next.
Besides Jordan Autumn,
Or they could be next.
maybe. I feel like Sasha's wanting to
Okay.
get one in, or Z. Zamaya
Okay.
is probably going to get one,
Yeah.
I think. Or Autumn and Jordan.
Super cool.
All 4 of them. I feel like everybody's trying to get there.
Why not?
We're all shooting
There you go. So you down there on the bench, or are you in the stands?
On the
Where are you
bench.
today?
on the bench.
Okay. So what's the chatter? Because it feels like they got it out for
I know.
Sasha. She just keeps getting
my God.
chopped down.
It's so because the first one she fell right in front of me, and it was so funny. She's so aggressive. I love it. But they did not like her, obviously. But she's getting back up every time, which I congratulate her for that, and she gave it 110%.
Absolutely. Grinding, right?
Yes.
So, of course, going forward, I know a big kind of emphasis in the Reckoning community, Reckoning franchise, kind of empowerment. How do you feel like they've worked with you or empowered you throughout your Reckoning experience?
Ooh, that's a good question. They've gave me it's been like a motivation booster, I guess.
Okay.
It's just so it's just such high level coaches, and just this season it's just been very hardworking. Just everybody's putting their all into it. I feel like it's been a really good learning experience for me, and I feel like I'm just gonna take it and keep moving forward with it.
Super cool. So just that kind of uplifting and just
Yeah.
feeling like you're soaking it all
Yeah.
up, right? Super cool. Super cool. So obviously one of the younger players here in the franchise, but it's such a high level that you all are playing
Yeah.
at. A role model here to a lot of the younger players in the city, right? So if you had to kind of say something to the younger players, just people getting into soccer
Yeah.
or maybe trying to pursue a collegiate career like yourself, what would you say to them, or what would your advice be?
Keep having fun. Don't lose your love for the game. Keep the hard work going. If you hit a rough patch, don't stop, because it's only gonna make you better. And just keep doing what you're doing.
Super cool. Super cool. So we appreciate you making the trip up the stairs. So now that you've had the opportunity to catch your breath a little bit, I don't want to kind of limit you to just the questions, right?
Yeah.
So I want to kind of open mic it to you. If there's anything else, whether it's the people at home, maybe it's grandma tuning in for the interview, or, maybe the future Reckoning squad. Just want to kind of give it to you if there's anything you'd like to express, or just kind of want to throw out there here for the Reckoning faithful, the Reckoning family, or the future of the city here.
Yeah. That's a good question. I'll say hi, Mom. My mom's watching this right now. My mom
Yes.
and my grandma,
Hey,
actually.
And
No,
grandma.
but, Reckonings, we're just going to keep getting better and better throughout the summer, throughout seasons, fall, everything. I think we're gonna we're gonna improve so much. I don't even know, but come out, watch our games next season over and over and over again.
There you go.
But come, and then if you are a 2006 to 2016, come to our camp June 24th through 28th. That'll be really fun. I'll be coaching. I'll be helping Coach Izzy, Coach Stacy, all all the fun people, they'll be there. Come out for that, sign up, and just keep cheering on Team Lake Reckoning.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Very well said. Very well said. So thanks again for taking some time, Kendall. Fantastic to
Yeah.
meet you and talk a little bit,
Nice to
hear
meet
your
you.
story, hear kind of your Reckoning experience. So for the people at home, one of your stars here in the Tallahassee Reckoning franchise, Kendall Sadberry, coming this fall, more Reckoning games, and then in the winter,
Yeah.
Charles High School,
Yep.
getting ready to get after it. So thank you so much, Kendall.
Yeah,
We're
nice
going to
to meet
step
you.
out for a quick commercial break, so stay with us. Second half on the way here shortly.
Yes.
I'll be there with a love that
Whenever you need us, just reach out, and we'll be there to deliver the healthcare you need. Find a care site near you at hcafloridahealthcare.com.
And there we are. Welcome back here to Reckoning Live. If you're just tuning in with us, what are you doing? You missed the Kendall Sadberry and the Paige Churchill interviews. And oh, by the way, there was 4 goals you missed as well. But appreciate you tuning in here. Shout out to Kendall's mom and grandma who tuned in for the interview. I'm sure you'll tell her that she did a great job, but I think she did a fantastic job.
Phenomenal.
Cool to see at every level. There's so many wonderful young people in this program, and this is just why the Reckoning experience is so great, Trent. It's just been such a fun ride, and everybody having a great time. It's just doing not only for the game of soccer, but for the for young people in our area, an experience unlike anything else.
I mean, you heard Kendall herself. She's saying 2006 to 2012. If you're in that age bracket, come on out. So she's going to be out here giving back to the community, coaching a little bit, and one of the best players early on in this Reckoning tenure. And here's Woodard again with a big shot just outside the top of the box. She gets taken down, and that's going to be out for Brevard SC goal kick. But great stuff hearing from Kendall. We wish her and Paige a speedy recovery. Very thankful to have them up here and give a little insight on their Reckoning tenure so far. Good step there from Charlotte. Sees that out. Oh, just kidding. She didn't see it out. And Autumn tracks the ball down. Plays it back to Jessica Schildkraut. Goes for the Meg. And then gets shoved down in the back and gets the ball kicked at her. And that'll be a free kick for your Tallahassee Reckoning.
How about that introduction to the second half, right? No love there for Schildkraut. Service going into the box here, looking for land. Also Hill in the area. Who we now know goes by Z.
I was going to say, got a new nickname.
There you go.
Should ask Kendall if she had any nicknames. I'll do the interview next time.
There you
I'm just
go. Mad Dog Sadberry way she gets after it, dude.
I love when you asked her what position she enjoyed playing more, and she said defender. And then she said, like, her goals for the game were, like, to only allow a player to get by her twice. And I think you just can tell that in her playing style because nobody ever gets by her. And if they do, she's going to track back and win the ball back immediately.
There you go. Seems like Frost and the rest of the back line are kind of in the same vein here tonight.
Absolutely. Great ball out wide to Zamaya.
Trying to come back against the grain here. Nice little hesitation. Poke free. The visitors trying to free up a little counterattack here. And so here's a little bit of trouble going back forward here as a new substitute into the match. Layla Thompson. Of course, talked about Kendall headed for Charles officially. So we got it on record, Trent.
Isn't that crazy that we're talking about where a kid in junior high is declaring for high school? I mean, that just tells you the level of talent that Kendall is at.
There you go. And it's a two-way street, right? So, of course, baller in her own right, and that's what the Reckoning are doing. They're finding fantastic players here and helping give them an awesome soccer experience and then opportunities beyond the soccer. So much more here going on with the Reckoning franchise to give them as this one sent in on the back here for the visitors. Not to trouble Lily Dennis, who's now in net here for your Tallahassee Reckoning.
You talk about the opportunities that they give to these young players. Look at Kendall, man. She's going to get to do a little coaching here at the camp in year one. I mean, already getting coached up by some of the best in the business, and now she's going to get to try her hand at it a little. Could definitely see her coaching one day, many, many years away after she's done playing.
And round it goes.
The beautiful game.
There you go. Tried to thread it over the top. Z's able to pick this one out off the secondary ball. Some pressure here for the Reckoning, and I love they come out of the second half, and they want to continue to keep the pressure on. Land tracking back. She's making them earn it at every level. Almost cuts it off. But the visitor is able to slide through here as the Riptide trying to put it through up and over the top. Diaz chasing down the corner. Here's Reynolds. Great control there by Reynolds, able to track back. Going back to Dennis. She gets it off the line here. Second ball falling to Diaz. Oh, she's very comfortable up there as she makes a run into that midfield. Spilled out here to Woodard. Now it's a race. Woodard and Land, who's getting the hat trick first. Centering ball from Woodard. Looking for the Sac City, Texas native. It'll fall back here to the Riptide, but not for long. Of course, it's another new substitute into the match, Akana Tollefson.
And I'm loving Land with the sleeves rolled up because that's exactly how she's playing tonight.
Yeah. Definitely the blue-collar game coming here for Land.
All right, look where Charlotte's at. Is this going on frame? It's got to, right?
I mean,
it's got to.
It's only 42 from goal. Takes a rip.
Drop.
Does the keeper want it? Oh, skips it off the crossbar. Reynolds. We say it jokingly, but it feels like she legitimately is in range anytime she crosses half field.
I mean, that's the second time tonight she's hit the crossbar. We've seen her do it multiple times so far this season. I'm surprised the goalkeeper didn't even flinch at that. That skipped off the top of the crossbar. I mean, it was a lot closer than it looked originally.
Made the hairs on my neck stand up a little bit. Here's Diaz takes this one away. Still in that right back positioning here.
I mean, and same with Autumn we were talking about earlier. It just had to be a matter of time, and it feels the same thing with Charlotte, though, right? Because she's just so close. One of these is going to drop inevitably this season.
No doubt.
Hopefully tonight.
There you go. So Thompson's going to fill into where Frost was in that right center back. This one's kind of scooped up. Here's Tollefson. He's going to fall in that kind of center mid, that right center mid.
Now, have we seen Layla play center back? We've seen her on the defensive line plenty, playing out wide.
Yeah, so she did sparingly. Obviously, typically more of outside back, but especially with Sullivan coming in, kept her more on the outside. But yes, have seen her centrally, and anyone familiar with her high school career has seen her there. Last woman on the scene back there for Childs. This one's an awkward ball that gets blooped up into the air. Reynolds on the scene. Land. Tollefson looking to run with this one. Now goes up to Hill. She'll look to settle. As this one's trying to keep in play, but just running out of real estate over there on that far side. Sometimes that 60, 65 yards just isn't enough there on the width, Trent. You wish you had like 70 sometimes. This one gets cycled back here to Dennis. Of course, Dennis on the FSU club team. Of course, before Sachia getting into town, a couple starts for her.
A clean sheet. First game of the season.
There you go. Of course, former Lincoln player back in her senior year, that 22-23 season. So cool to see her stick around at FSU. This one threads through. Great ball from Shield Kraut. Woodard with an advancing run into the box. Puts it back on her right-hand foot. Deflection off the post and in. And hats on the ground. That's 3 for Autumn Woodard.
And it all starts all the way back here in the defensive half of the field. Charlotte Reynolds receiving the ball, playing it out wide to Jessica Schildkraut, who plays a great ball down to Autumn Woodard. Autumn Woodard with plenty of pace to take on her defender. Gets the angle. Gets a lovely deflection. Skips off that back post and in, man. And we got a new Golden Boot leader.
There you go. Round and round
Just like
it goes.
that.
Tied with Land now.
Forgive me.
Yep. So her and Land staying tied at the top of the race as the Goal Fest continues here on the south side.
An hour ago, Jude, we were asking ourselves if she's going to get one tonight, if she's finally going to get on the score sheet. And here we are an hour later, and she's got 3, tied for the most on the team. I love it.
There you go.
Love it.
Spilled out to the perimeter here as Brevard looking for an answer. It's been all reckoning out here tonight. Griffin, great step. And it'll be a visiting corner kick. So once again, it's got to be tough here trying to dig out of this hole. We talked about it pregame, mentioned it a couple times. The visitors from Melbourne only bringing 12 players on the trip, so it is a very short bench. So only one person will get a little relief tonight as this one spilled out. Dennis comes out. The defense does a great job on the back post, cleaning that one up. I believe it was Diaz and Griffin. This one going over the top, falling in the box dangerously. Deflection.
Oh, wow.
And Dennis gets in there, takes a shot from the opposition. One, when they shot the ball in the traditional sense, and then 2, a shot at the midsection there is a collision with the attacker, but we stay 0 goals against here. Fantastic effort by Dennis.
I mean, she went so strong for that ball. She knew if she didn't go at it at that exact moment that that's a really good shot that Brevard's going to get on goal, and she just eliminates that chance, immediately takes it off of the foot. Great stuff there from Lily. She's been in the game 10 minutes, man.
Absolutely. And Thompson clears this one off and over the top here, but something that we've seen from Dennis, right? 0 hesitation. We saw it in the Brookhouse game. We saw it in the Florida League game. You know, bringing it, the intensity, never any hesitation. Great track back here from Woodard as she spills this one free. Back to Griffin to Land. Good movement. Skipping a couple lines here with the long ball. Trying to find Z out in that wide space, but a little too much for Hill. And once again, running out of real estate over there on the far side. So reckoning on top of it here tonight. 5 big ones up on the board. 3 from Woodard, 2 from Land. 8th, 20th, 40th, 42nd, 54th, respectively. Quiroz takes an adventurous spell. On the overlap here to Tollefson, and the Eureka native tries to bring it back here centrally, sought out by the defense, but the pressure's still on here for the Reckoning, forcing a throw-in here on this near side. So relentless on the pursuit here. Love that it's carried over into the second half, and you couldn't tell that it's a 5-goal margin here by the gameplay. Reckoning really going after it.
Brevard doing their best to stay right there with them.
Back to goal. Manders back to Shieldkraut. Or sorry, that was Tollefson, my mistake. Shieldkraut now into the box, looking for some service. It takes a deflection. Zamaya Hill will try to track this one down. Spilled out of play. Last touch by Brevard. So it'll be a throw-in here for Tallahassee over on the far side. They take it quickly. Diaz going down towards the corner, centering ball, and it's deflected out for a corner kick. So we know Diaz has some dangerous service here.
Think they're going Autumn again, back post?
Where does she want to put it?
Yep.
Gets deflected by the keeper. Woodard was on there. Keeper had to get involved. Kiddos back to Griffin. They'll cycle it around. Here's Thompson. Pressure coming from the visitor. She beats the initial defender. And the third one to the scene will jar it loose. Good coverage there from Tollefson. It'll be poked free here for Kiddos. Back to Dennis and calmly once again in possession here for Tallahassee. Cycle back around here, centering ball. Nice touch from Reynolds. Tollefson takes a shot, and it'll be a free kick.
They know that's not Sasha out there anymore, right?
I mean, they might be mixing up those Thomas University players.
Maybe, man. No love for Akana.
There you go. Of course, shout out to Eureka, California. And it looks like the visitors are booked. Yellow card for the infraction at midfield.
First one of the night.
And then a little extra. I believe it was 7. Kaylee Smith. We'll try to get some official ruling on that. Service from Thompson. Screamer looking for Woodard. Beautiful pace on it. Woodard does really well to track that one down. Offside flag stays down. Going on
man.
frame. Number 4, almost. What a wild ride here for Woodard tonight. Great to see, the work that she's put in all season long being paid off ×3 here tonight.
I feel like they're not going to take her off, man. She's just coming at them tonight. And I feel bad for that Brevard SC keeper who, like we speculated earlier, might just be a field player and is filling in at keeper. Could be some injuries or some travel issues there for Brevard, but tough day at the office.
Indeed. Yeah, part of you is like, maybe Swan City game. Maybe the Tampa Bay United try to keep her a little fresh. But then the other side is like, how far are we going to let this one roll, As a new substitute, Zara Anderson coming in to play here for Brevard.
And we can confirm that will be their only substitution tonight.
Correct. Advancing play, spilled out of danger here by the Reckoning initially. And it'll be Gent taking a seat here for the visitors. Is Reckoning once again in possession. Hill over on the far side, coming centrally. A left-footed service here to Shieldkraut. And back over the top, great combination play. And then one time here from Diaz, offside flag stays down, so still on, says referee. And initially spilled out of danger here by the visitors, but it will be a Tallahassee throw-in as we get into the quote-unquote third period here, our third 30-minute chunk.
You don't see that too often. The ref stopping the throw-in and telling them to go back to move up. Normally they got to move him back.
The other way.
Oh, what a
here.
step.
Kiddos getting in there and jarring the ball free. The ref, not a fan.
I was.
So it'll be a free kick here to Brevard as we roll into minute 63. If you're just joining us, it has been all the goal fest that you would think a 5-0 contest would be. 3 from Woodard, 2 from Jordan Land. And the 3, Trent, came in, as far as the game clock is concerned, a 14-minute time period.
No big deal.
Stamped at the 40, 42nd, 54th minute.
Incredible. Looks like we got some reinforcements coming on here for the rec.
Heyo. Of course, on standby. As we have some unique uniform numbers coming to us.
Natalie Nelson, 19, is one of them, but then we've got a 39 with no name on the jersey, and that's not on our team sheet here, so we apologize.
So let's cycle back here from Brevard. Good step there by Tollefson. Reynolds, center and ball to Land. Land's still sitting on 2. Don't forget, this one's dropped back to Thompson. There in that center circle. Good through to Shieldkraut here. Woodard's on. 4 Reckoning players. There's 3 in the back. Woodard will lay it off here to Shieldkraut. Go back against the grain. A little hesitation, draws the double team. Going to the corner, looking for some service. Deflected, wins the corner. Well done there by Shieldkraut.
Able to get something out of nothing there. Didn't really have any help. There were a lot of numbers back for Brevard.
Yep.
I think just about everyone except for their forward. So able to showcase some fancy dribbling there and win a corner.
There you go.
Autumn's trying to figure out if they're taking her off. She looked like she didn't want to come off.
Said, I got one more in me,
Yeah,
coach.
come on now.
Please don't do it.
Eduardo Quiero's coming off. Great stuff from her tonight.
Yeah. And then, of course, he'll take a seat as well. So it's going to be Nelson, like you said, Trent, that we know of. And then 39, which I have a feeling is Ana Guidas. But we'll have to get some clarification here. Head next door to the scorer's table. See if we can't get some information on that one.
And a ball back in. Looks like it was offside. Brevard SC free kick out the back. Play it over the top to the center of the pitch. Jessica Schildkraut plays it over top to Land, who heads it out wide to number 39. Excuse me, that was Natalie Nelson. Natalie Nelson with a cross that takes a deflection off a Brevard SC player, and that'll go out for another Tallahassee Reckoning corner. We've seen them be pretty dangerous here, both first and second half on these corners. Presumably going back post again, and that's where they go. Just misses Autumn. Goalkeeper gets a hand on it, stares Autumn down, isn't paying attention. Ball's played back into the box, cleared out. Brevard wins it up top. Play it out wide. Zara Anderson on the ball. Overlapping run. Abby Griffin giving great chase, able to see the ball out. Great step there from Abby. Quick throw here from Brevard. Play back to Anderson. Anderson sees it in. Abby clears the ball. Dangerous shot there from Brevard. Luckily off frame, goes out, and that'll be another TLH Reckoning goal kick. Lily Dennis with a big leg, obviously rested, didn't play that first half, but elects to take it short. Shilkraut playing the ball back. Dangerous play here. But seen out by Layla Thompson.
Thompson almost hitting through that open gate there, Trent. Thought she was trying to put that one in the parking lot. We're going to need some additional clarification, but it looks like the early notification is Guedes. Ana Guedes was listed at 35. We believe she is that mysterious 38 here, but we have our people on it. But that seems to be what we have. We had a last-second jersey change. Part of the beauty of lower league soccer.
Amen.
Trent might have got hooked on the old washer machine back earlier this week, so we had to swap it out. There's Guedes. Nice through to Tollefson, who shakes off that jersey rip there. On the overlap, some service. Diaz, what a ball here to Jordan Land. An opportunity. Oh, close to a handball. Referee says play on. The visitors will spill it out for a reckoning throw-in.
Great ball to Land. Great touch from her to bring it down. Unfortunately, sandwiched in between a couple Brevard defenders, but did everything she could. Able to see the ball out and gets the throw.
Yeah, absolutely. That's Diaz coming out of the back, and that was a fantastic one over the top. And here's Diaz once again on the scene.
Ooh.
Nice little bit of control, faked it. As this one's kind of sprawled free as Nelson tracks back. And you talk about, as far as the new substitutes, is a great angle of pursuit there by Thompson. Really well done to shield off the defender and make that a no-nonsense pass back to Dennis. But you talk about personnel. Nelson, very similar kind of junkyard dog mentality, like Kendall Sadberry, who we talked to at halftime. If you didn't have the chance to hear the interview with Kendall Sadberry, I say you should probably go back after the game.
And listen to the Paige one, too, at the beginning.
There you go. Maybe tune in for a couple weeks ago. A lot of awesome interviews with the Reckoning personnel. Hannah Hassel, Nolan Haley. The faces of your franchise.
Of today and tomorrow.
Today and tomorrow, yes. As this one's dropped back for Diaz. Look at back post. Woodard on the scene again. Back to Reynolds. She's in range. 30 yards from frame. Tried to thread it through the shield crowd, and it'll spill out here for a goal kick for the visitors as we get into minute 70.
I think what I love the most about Charlotte Reynolds is every time she takes a touch of the ball, I can't tell if she's about to dish it, take it on the dribble, or rip it.
And that is the part of the game.
A three-point stance.
Keeps the defender guessing, keeps you guessing. It seems like the only people that know are the 10 or the 9 other people in the dark uniforms and then the one person in the blue uniform in between the pipes, whether it's Chia, whether it's Dennis, Woodard, Land. There's the connection at work again. Overlap here to Tollefson into the box, trying to turn the corner. And a foul on Tollefson is the call for the Thomas University player. The 3-year stateswoman for Thomas University.
No big deal.
Mm-hmm.
You think she brought Sasha here? You think Sasha brought her here?
Great question.
You think they came together?
Maybe they brought each other here.
Hey, you hear about that club down south? Let's go check it out.
Let's check that thing out.
Let's go score a couple goals.
Long overdue, right? This Tallahassee Reckoning franchise.
Big time.
Great historical event to be able to have here in the capital city. Just celebrating its 200th birthday is Tallahassee, the bicentennial.
Happy belated.
And, yeah, to those who celebrate. And the first year with a pre-professional women's soccer franchise. Still an opportunity to get you some tickets here if you want to see the Reckoning in person. One more home match.
One last dance.
There you go. So 2 more overall in the season, hosting Tampa Bay United, who's currently sitting at 3rd in the table, and then Swan City They gave Swan City quite a run in a game a couple weeks ago up here at the Gene. So I'm really excited as that one goes back to Central Florida. And I'm hoping the Rec can pick up a couple points on the road as the visitors scoop one up here at the back and put one in to make it 5-1 here in the 73rd minute.
That's tough. It looked like Lily just took a little slip there and unfortunately tried to clear it, and it goes right off of a Brevard tacker and then got an open net after that, unfortunately. But, hey, man, Reckoning's still up 4. I think they're going to hang on.
True.
But we'll see.
True.
Don't
Always going to be bumps in the road. Here for a growing, budding franchise. But really, when you look at it big picture, it's really the only kind of misstep here in this Tallahassee Reckoning campaign.
They're coming right back.
As this one goes to Nelson, and she is every bit the aggressive, direct frontline player that you like to go kind of hunt it down. Kind of makes me think of, well, we talked about Sadberry, but of course, you know, you think about kind of bigger club players. Think of like a Jamie Vardy type. Just like you would in hockey, right? Dump it down, let them go chase it, figure it out, go score the goal. She had a nice couple weeks ago in that reserve game against FC Miami City. Same thing, played out of the back, direct, straight line ball. She fought off her defender. I think it was actually 2 defenders. One-on-one with the keeper. Here we go. Nelson slots it home. Land on the scene. She's now at the corner of the 18 over the far side. Centering ball. Here's Nelson. Deflection towards the keeper. Scooped up here by the Riptide.
That was tough because Schildkraut was perfectly positioned back post, but I don't think Nelson knew that, or else she wouldn't have touched it. I'm sure she would have left it, but still, I mean, the pressure is clearly on for the Tallahassee Reckoning here late in the second half.
And there seems to be some kind of confusion here for the Riptide. One of the players was told by the referee to go towards the bench, but I did not see a card myself being issued. Maybe it was kind of as a concern. They can do like a concussion check if they're fearful of a head injury.
I think that might have been what it was. It looked like there was a trainer that went over and talked to her briefly. She got some water. She looks fine. She's going to come back out there next dead ball, it appears.
So we'll wait for that substitution window. Looks like Roxy Fowler for those tuning in from the Melbourne area. Number 14. She's able to pop up. And this will be an opportunity for her to go back into the match. But yeah, of course, that's an emphasis here at all levels of the game. Historically, concussions problematic here in soccer. So always good that you have some safety there as we have some substitutions coming in for your Tallahassee Reckoning. So Reynolds, good day at the office.
Per usual.
She'll head back to the water cooler, take a breather, and day is done for Stella Diaz as well. So that will usher on Reese Fontes Comer, and also going in, it looks like on the defensive side, as we have an offensive spell, Jordan Land says, who cares about defense? I'm trying to score goals out here. As we're trying to give the substitutes some love here, as this one's dumped out to the sideline. A great aggressive play by Guides there from Lincoln Trail College. Of course, the Brasilia native, one of the more infamous cities down in Brazil. But yes, we're going to it. Sorry, number 41, the new substitute, Leticia Guimiraes, into the match. Also, she's part of the Lincoln Trail 3, is Guimiraes, along with Quiroz,
The big three from LT.
There you go. Big three from LT. Of course, not the traditionally what you see, the so-called infamous path from Brazil to Illinois to Tallahassee, but
She's here.
hey, making it work. They heard the reckoning is going down. They said that sounds like an awesome opportunity, just like all these players here in the franchise. And of course, at least from the videos on social media, seem to be having fun with it, enjoying their time here and falling in part of the team. Some of those little mini interviews.
Yeah, I like the ones they were doing on the bus on the road trips. That was really cool.
Right, yep. Little get to know you.
Yeah.
There's a little player interviewing player there. Of course, not as long-winded as myself, Trent, but that's how it goes. Shield Kraut, service on over to the top. Ooh, how about the touch there? Ramirez comes back against the grain, centering ball to toe left send. Little 1-2, lands. Oh, most Tad number 3.
Looks like we're going to a water break here.
Mm-hmm. As we'll cycle out here as we get into minute 78. Great to see a water break coming in here for these conditions. As we hit triple-digit temperatures earlier today. Luckily, it cooled down to about 96, 97 for kickoff. So
A little chilly.
yeah, I'm looking for my jacket here, up here in the box, try to cool down here. But there's just been so much heat radiating from the field in the form of 5 Tallahassee reckoning goals. Autumn Woodard in the 40th, 42nd, 54th minute. And, of course, Jordan Land got the party started ×2. 8th and 20th minute, respectively, from there. So we asked Kendall Sadberry, who we had an opportunity to talk to at halftime, said her favorite goal was the Autumn Woodard volley. Got to like a good volley, right?
Well, that's how you know she's a true footballer. I mean, anyone who's played the game knows that that's the hardest skill in the sport, catching a volley clean and putting it on target. So, but, I mean, we already knew Kendall is the best.
There you go. There you go. So, of course, we have the opportunity. Don't forget, whether you're at home or at the gym, Wednesday, little midweek special here for Juneteenth, 3 p.m. kickoff. So I know all the state employees have off. So if you're looking for some entertainment, I know the city's got some festivities going on in the morning, but in the afternoon, how about coming down to Gene Cox Stadium, a battle between your Tallahassee Reckoning and the Tampa Bay United.
Last chance you're going to get to see him for a year. So
There you
if
go.
you're not coming out and supporting, what are you doing, honestly?
There you go. There you go. And, of course, coming up this week as well. So before we forget, can't forget about Reckoning Day.
Duh.
Of course, officially acknowledged on June 21st for their historical impact. Officially Friday, known as Tallahassee Reckoning Day.
Mayor Daley signing that into fruition.
There you go. Put that big old signature on there so you can see the squad.
They're proud.
There you go.
Who's that holding the...
That's the pregame interview here tonight. Paige Churchill, Tallis woman of yore, Tallahassee Reckoning. As we get ready to resume action. 81st minute. Only one goal in this second half. If Kendall's predictions are going to be right, we've got 3 more that we need here.
Yeah, she did say we were going to get 8.
To get to that magic 8. Of course, this is a franchise record for goals scored in a match. So 5 big ones. First ever franchise hat trick here by Autumn Woodard.
She goes from never scoring a goal to getting the first ever hat trick.
Can't stop now. Broke the seal.
She's still out there, dude. She's going to get one more tonight.
Kind of reminds me of those pipes in my apartment, and they just burst, and the water was just gushing out. Now Woodard can't stop scoring goals here. So hopefully we're able to parlay that into Wednesday as this one's over the top, and there's Nelson, one-timer. Oh! Ooh, thought it was. That was
Dang.
very reminiscent of the goal she scored against FC Miami City. Very close. But you see, I mean, just in a flash, it only takes Nelson a split second. She's like, I'm going to beat your defender here, as she was offside. It looks like, but
She said, I was studying y'all for about 60 minutes. I know exactly where I'm going to attack,
yes.
and I will get my goal.
That's where and how that I want it. There you go. Something to be said for that. Nelson going out and getting it. So, Trent, local Tallahassee quiz.
Uh-oh. Pop quiz. I wasn't ready for this one.
Current educational institution Natalie Nelson is attending.
Man, that's a good one.
Feel free, for those at home, feel free to pipe in the chat. Natalie Nelson, which educational institution currently attending? Obviously not currently because she's playing soccer at the moment. But this fall, where will she be?
I'm going to take a stab in the dark and say Lincoln.
Oh!
Give it to me. Come on now.
And that was successful.
Yeah?
Correct.
Come on now. I knew it wasn't Shiles.
There you go.
Couldn't be. That would have been low-hanging fruit.
Potentially Flagler in a couple years. Keep feeding the pipeline.
I mean, she's got somebody that can put in a good word for her, huh?
Also, can't sleep on a school like Thomas University coming down, who's got a great flag football program, because, for those who don't know, Natalie Nelson also a really good flag football player for the Lincoln Trojans, who are typically one of the powers here in the city. Plays a little running back, little wide receiver. Every now and then she'll step in and play a little quarterback.
Okay. I feel like she's got to go to Thomas just based off that then.
There you go. Of course, talking about breaking barriers, flag football recently becoming sanctioned here in NAIA. So schools like Thomas University, really kind of pioneers. As you see the Godby logo there, talking about historical events. Huge to get flag football sanctioned. Godby Cougar logo right there. Of course, former head coach Chelsea Palmer up there coaching Thomas University. A lot of cool stuff going on here.
You should have asked me that, who was coaching Thomas University. I wouldn't have got that one.
Those are deep cuts. Deep cuts. I don't think you get that one at a very high clip. Back here on the soccer field, though, as we get to the 85th minute, service over the top and spills out into the visitor parking lot. As Dennis watches that one skip back here. Get a goal kick coming out of the back. So we had the water break. We've got the one goal in it, so probably not a significant amount of stoppage time here tonight. But solid performance here from the Reckoning, start to finish. From the early onset, really setting the tone. And then the first exclamation mark by Jordan Land in the 8th minute really got things going. As here's Guimaraes. Back to Tollefson. Threading through, looking for Nelson, but spills out of play over on that far side. Out for a Reckoning throw.
Just a very complete game, head to toe, offensively, defensively, goalkeeping, midfield, everything from the Reckoning. One of their best games this season. Obviously, the score sheet showing that. But as we alluded to earlier, it doesn't always work out that way. So very thankful it is tonight for the Rec.
Oh, tried the old roundabout.
Oh.
Did Natalie
Rolled
Nelson.
up the flag for a throw.
Kind of reminds me of that commute when you're coming off Appalachia Parkway, trying to take that left-hand turn into Lincoln High School. Got to hit that roundabout. Natalie Nelson throws a little whoop on her defender there. She was going the wrong way against traffic there. She heads to the left. Usually got to stay on the right-hand side.
Natalie Nelson makes the rules, Jude.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. No rules. On the outside, here's Tollefson. Put it back on the left. Oh, great little combination play with some individual skill. Lands in the middle once again. Still working towards that hat trick. Here's Shieldkraut up over the top. Land. Volleys it. Deflects off the Riptide. So another opportunity here for the Reckoning. So with Diaz being subbed out. The usual corner kicker taker not on the field. So it looks like some service from Woodard upcoming.
No, I wanted her back post for that dunk. Dude, they've been so close. There's been 3, I want to say, that have just been so fractionally off from her forehead.
3 Autumn Woodard goals, not enough here for Trenton Young. Service, outswinger with the right-hand foot, gets back post, land in the area, secondary ball for Nelson. And her header will spill out over the line. So both Land and Nelson with an opportunity. A lot of pace, a lot of spin, but a dangerous threat once again for the Reckoning.
I mean, that was a perfect ball. That was the same ball that Estella Diaz was sending to Autumn, and then Autumn just takes a page out of her book and sends the same thing, picks out Land, and how close is that?
There you go.
Almost got a double hat trick night.
It's contagious. As there you go, get some touches for Reese. I believe it's the first possession for Reese Fontes Comer. Another player we had an opportunity to talk with here early in the season. Of course, up at Childs here. I believe a rising junior, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, great little ball from Woodard. Here's Tollefson.
Oh, my goodness.
Back to Woodard. A little too much. And this one would be out of play. Going back the other way here for the Riptide.
Very classy sequence of play there from the Rec on the ball.
My mistake, Reese is a rising senior at Childs. 1 year off. The general idea of a solid young player here with this Reckoning franchise, though, which is a very common theme.
Look at Layla with the center back run.
Nice through ball, looking for Reese. Dropped on back here. Some pressure. Land also in the mix. Tries to pinch this one off. Looks like the Riptide able to escape initially. Direct play over the top. And looks like the defense is prepared and organized for that one.
Great header out there from Guedes.
Thrown back in play here. Sought out here by Thompson. Really well done. Stretches. Secondary. The deflections keep going back to the pink jerseys, though. Is the Riptide able to get on top of that? Another nice challenge here for the Reckoning.
Just can't quite get the ball to bounce their way right now.
Centering ball, able to get it on the deflection. Peel that one out, and it'll go back to a Riptide throw. Centering ball here. Dennis on her tiptoes, but won't need to be involved on that one. It'll be out for a goal kick as we get into stoppage time. Looking for an official notation. And the assistant referee, maybe 3 minutes with the water break and the 2 goals, 1 each side. This one's popped up here for Ramirez, excuse me. Cleared by the Riptide. It'll be a throw in here for the Reckoning. So you got to think it's probably one of the last spells here for Tallahassee, especially given the score line. Typically, the referees aren't too generous here with the stoppage time. But we'll be awaiting that official announcement here.
If we even get it, they might just blow the whistle here in another minute or two.
This one bounces through to the front line. Thompson there to clean it up. 50-50 ball collected here loosely. There's Reese on top of this one. Well done to keep that in play. Oh, dangerous ball from Guedes.
Wow.
Able to re-scoop that. Great angle of pursuit.
Incredible touch.
On both sides, offensively and defensively. Overlapping run. Here's Gamirez up to Nelson. Dangerous positioning. Shoots
Oh, man.
just wide of that far post. Almost banked it in for lucky number 6.
Natalie with her sleeves rolled up, taking a page out of Jordan's book.
There you go.
Said, hey, man, she got 2 goals that way. I want 2. She about got 1. Great stuff to stay onside there.
There it is. Spilled out. The visitor is able to keep it in play. New substitute Anderson. Centering ball here to Gammon. Tollefson with some nice pressure from the Reckoning. And a long ball over on the far side. Little too much, so this will go back to the Reckoning. And just about 2 and change here of stoppage time. And so that will take us all final here from Gene Cox Stadium. A full-fledged, fantastic effort here from your Tallahassee Reckoning for a final 5-1. Impressive showcase here tonight from the Tallahassee Reckoning. What'd you think, Trent?
I mean, easily the biggest win that we've seen here at home all season, biggest game that they put together start to finish. And so just really proud of the girls to put everything together and get this result that they've desperately needed and earned so far this season. It's been a brutal season for them so far. Been on the road last 3 games, but they finally come back home, put 5 goals in the back of the net in front of their home fans. And I think it's just a great way to kind of crescendo out of the season. Obviously, still got a big game coming up on Wednesday, June 18th. That'll be at 3 p.m. Don't forget.
There you go.
But, I mean, yeah, tonight you see them, like we said, we played a team that was evenly matched on paper, and we came out 4 goals the superior. So that's what you love to see.
Taking care of business.
Celebrate good times.
There you go. Of course, working overtime on a Saturday. Fortunately, not getting paid extra for it or the Reckoning, but they made it worth their while, clocked in a hearty day's work here. 5 big ones go across here. Jordan Land, Autumn Woodard.
And who?
Autumn Woodard.
Oh, that's right.
The big 5, and then 1 in for the second half for the visitors. Really the only blemish on, from my perspective, pretty rock star performance here by the Reckoning.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one little goal they gave up. Lily Dennis slips and falls down on the turf. Turf monster gets there. You know, other than that, they really limited to Brevard maybe to 3 or 4 chances, quality chances all night long. So really proud of that defense, that back line, and the goalkeeping from both Chichia and Lily Dennis.
There you go. Rock and roll. So, of course, going forward, any final thoughts before we transition? We got some numbers of the game, Trent.
No, let's get Joe Ward in here and hear from him, and I'll talk to y'all on Wednesday.
There you go.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So, 5-1 final here. Reckoning at the Gene. Talked about it. How sometimes it feels like the home cooking just tastes a little bit better than trying to pick something up on the road. What'd you think, Mr. Joe Ward?
I'll second that.
Woo!
Nothing like a little home cooking.
Yeah, feels like a good hearty T-bone 5-goal steak here tonight, Joe.
Well, I'm not really a steak person. I'll take the hamburger steak.
There you go.
With a little mashed potatoes, a little Texas toast. And I'm set.
Oh, okay. And then that was 4. I feel like you got maybe a throw a drink in there. You got to have 5, right, for the 5 goals. But let's get to the numbers, Joe. What do we have going on here tonight? Of course, from our statistician, Joe Ward.
Well, free kicks was 15-9, Brevard. Corner kicks was 8-3, Tallahassee. Goal kicks was 10-16, Brevard. 6 goals. Shots on goal for Brevard, a whopping 22 for Tallahassee. They had 15 in the first half. I've been doing soccer for a while. I've never seen and I've seen soccer games on TV. I've never seen 15 shots on goal in a half.
Yeah, they were getting after it. All right.
11-4 on saves, Brevard. 37-30 on side outs, and last one fouls, 15-9, Tallahassee. All in all, a convincing win. It was good to see. No carryover from that road trip.
Tough.
That's all we're going to say about that road trip.
Yep.
Those of y'all who kept up with it, you'll know what I'm talking about. But no carryover. They came out, took care of business, played good from the start. Woodard had a hat trick. Jordan Land with a couple of goals.
Mm-hmm.
Good win all the way around. This should give them some serious confidence now.
Absolutely. So a two-way street, right? So one giving them some serious confidence, but one kind of showcasing that pillar of kind of the reckoning mentality, one of those 8 core values, right? Tenacity to come out like, younger team, first-year franchise in a gauntlet of a league. So, of course, you talked about Jacksonville, who they have to play twice. Top team in the nation. The nation at this level in soccer. And so coming out from a tough road trip, but they still got the fire. They're still going after it, and that's what you love to see. They're still having fun, too. You see smiles. You see them laughing pre-game, mid-game, during the game.
That's what I was wanting to see going into tonight's game. Was there any carryover from that road trip? Because that was a bad road trip.
It was tough.
It was tough.
It was tough.
But they were playing 3 of the better teams in the league.
League and the nation.
And the nation.
Whole, yeah.
It was like a gauntlet.
Yeah.
Here, but tonight they came out and they took control from the get-go.
Mm-hmm.
And that was good to see.
Yeah.
And like I said, no carryover from that road trip here. Because sometimes in all sports, sometimes when you have a road trip like that, you're going to see a carryover into the next game coming off of it. But tonight there was no carryover, and that's good to see.
Absolutely. Just traveling in general. I know when I go out of town, Joe, I come back, there's definitely a little bit of a hangover effect, but they were ready to go. And it's different down here at the Gene, Joe. And the reckoning, the story continues here in front of the home crowd. They put in some really fun, inspired performances. And you saw another classic here, another reason why, if you're free Wednesday, you got to come down or you got to tune in to watch the reckoning here, taking on Tampa Bay United, one of those big-time teams.
Here's another test on Wednesday. A team who's been here for a while. They have a bigger talent pool to pull from.
Big city, metro area.
In the big city. Now let's see what you've learned.
There you go.
From all the matches you have played against the bigger cities and bigger programs. What have you learned? Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it was 10-0 Tampa in a game much earlier in the year.
It was tough. It was tough. We'll see. But they were undefeated conference champs last year. So this is the top of the top crust coming back down. So, yeah, we'll just see. We'll have the response here. So looking forward to that game here as this young franchise continues to grow.
To see what you've learned and see if you can at least make it a more respectable and even a competitive game.
Yeah.
Make Tampa work. Here.
And we've seen, so you talk about it, you look at second in the table right now, Palm City. They controlled the majority of that game. Palm City's sitting at second in the table right now, just behind Jacksonville, who once again, number 1 in the nation. They took Palm City to the brink and led most of that game versus Palm City, of course.
And that game was here.
Right, correct.
And Tallahassee led most of the night until right at the end when Palm City tied them here. But you had to go out of it feeling good because you proved that you can play with one of the big teams.
With the big dogs, yeah.
The next step they're going to have to take, in all seriousness, they got to show better results on the road.
Yeah, so that's next phase, right? And that's lower league. That's lower league across the board.
That's the next phase is better results on the road because most of the – I'll have to go ahead and say it. Most of the big L's have occurred on the road. They have been pretty good here at the Cox.
Yeah.
Here.
At
They've
the
been pretty
Gene.
good at the Cox.
Yeah.
But to be – if you want to be where these other teams are, eventually – you got to have results on the road.
Yeah, that's all part of the process.
It's all part of the process.
That's all part of the process.
That's the next step.
Yeah. So we got the foundation. The foundation's good. And you see the potential, right? You see even the growth in this season. And this is a team that was, on paper, ahead of them, supposed to beat them, but they took care of Brevard very comfortably. And you see the individual play, and you also factor in, you're missing 3 arguably of your top 4 or 5 players here.
But it was good to see some of the ones from the reserve team get the call up
I know
tonight.
you liked that one, Joe.
I'm telling you, the reserve team, and we had a chance to do one of their games a few weeks ago.
Right.
There are some serious players on that reserve team.
There you go. Shout out.
And that's the thing about a program here, is that if you have injuries or like people can't make it to the game for whatever reason, you got people you can call up for the game. Well, here's the example. Tallahassee had about 3 frontline players had injuries. One former couldn't play. So now you get 3 players from the reserve team on there, and bam, you got some results.
Boom.
Diaz played good.
Oh, yeah, really good. Really locked it down on that right back position.
Here,
you had Reese, Fontes Comer come in late.
Do good. And if I'm not mistaken, the goalie that came in the second half,
Dennis,
I think, is on the reserve.
No, we've seen her. She's on the senior team. Yeah. So she's,
okay. I thought I had my bad. I thought she was the one that was on the reserve team.
But similar in that area, Frost. Frost was one of the bump ups as well, who we saw 23 here today. Really lock it down in the center of that positioning, and then also Natalie Nelson up top.
And they all played good. And that's good experience for them. See, now you're building. You're building the thing now.
It's all feeding the beast.
It's the next step. It's the next step. Now you're building something for the future.
Yep.
Here. And now, like I said, the next step in the process, and it's all process, got to be better on the road.
Yep.
It's that simple.
There you go. But it's all in the future, right? You see the foundations off the field stuff is there. You see the team dynamic. You see building the game. One of the youngest teams, if not the youngest team across the nation at this level. And then you see first-year franchise, historical event. They're building, and so it's fun to see. And you can see the future. You can see glimpses of it. And so we always want, as a culture, we always want results now. But there's so much of the building in progress, so that is to come.
Sometimes it's all about the here and now. But with Tallahassee, it's all about what's down the road, and what's down the road is pretty good.
There you go.
And but here's what I think is a bigger thing. With the win tonight, they got a chance not to be the 8th team in this league. Division.
This already bumps them up, I believe, 2-6.
So
we'll have to check the table, but yeah,
they got a chance to finish not number 8. They got a chance to finish out of there. Don't tell me for 1 second with a first-year pro, don't tell me that ain't big, because that is big.
Yeah, and still with 2 games in hand, so you have, theoretically, you could even chase down a 4 or 5 seed here with the schedule. And Swan City, who you've shown you can compete with, you've shown Palm City that you can compete with the top end of this conference here at the Gene.
Okay, question. When does Tallahassee play Swan City?
Swan City, they play them after they play here. So I believe it's the weekend. So next weekend, we have to check the official schedule that we have coming up, but I believe that's a Saturday match down in Central Florida. But I believe that to be the case here without trying to hold off and belabor the point too much. But yeah, we're going to go ahead and assume that's a weekend match. As I pull up the schedule here, the 22nd.
That's a Saturday.
Would be a Saturday.
That's a Saturday. And exactly where is Swan City for those of us who don't exactly know?
So Swan City, believe this franchise is based out of Lakeland. So Central Florida, but they'll be playing over at Barnett Field at Florida Southern College.
That's in Lakeland.
Yes.
That I do know.
There you go. So, of course, it's a two-sided franchise. This side is based out of Lakeland, though.
Florida Southern has been known for basketball.
There you go.
here. So I've heard of Florida Southern.
There we go. As we put a bow on this one here, Reckoning victorious in a big way. 3 goals, Autumn Woodard. 2 goals, Jordan Land. Here as they take down Brevard 5-1 in a big exclamation point last weekend game here at the Gene this season. Still one opportunity, though. Don't forget about it. Don't sleep on it. Tampa Bay United, 3 p.m. on Wednesday.
And it's a game. Let's see what Tallahassee learned, not only from today, but also the first matchup with Tampa from earlier in the year.
Absolutely.
That's also the next step in the process of building a program.
Absolutely.
When you have played somebody earlier in the year and they beat you rather, let's face it, they beat you rather bad. But now you got them on your field, all right? Now
Tables have turned.
Now, what are you going to do about it?
There you go. So as we put a bow on this one, I want to give a shout-out here to our sponsors and some announcement and our founding members. Thank you for your impact in helping this community club. Of course, got to check out Tallahassee Soccer Camp going on starting a week from Monday. Get coached by the pros here and dream big with no limits. Girls and boys, less than 2 weeks away. Like we said, just over a week.
Big deal.
Tallahassee Reckoning Soccer Camp, 24th through the 28th. As you can see, you can register online, TallahasseeReckoning.com, to reserve your spot for a week of fun and training with coaches Ashley Fontes, Coach Izzy Cotto, and Coach Stacy Wilson, along with your Tallahassee Reckoning players. We've got confirmation from our halftime interviewee, Kendall Sadberry. She's going to be on the scene there. So, of course, thank you to our impact sponsor, WAGS, and other sponsor, Grova Creative, Nickel Management, Astro Travel, Hummel, FSU Coach, Holy Comforter, Episcopal School, Amicus Brewing Ventures, and also our verified supporters, Modern Fitness and Fig Nutrition Consulting. Of course, we go through here our sponsors individually. WAGS, a nonprofit leader in empowering women and girls to reach their goals using soccer as our platform since 1974. Proud impact sponsor of the Tallahassee Reckoning. Honored to be a part of this journey with the USLW League with this team. Of course, from concept to campaign, Grova Creative helps turn your business ideas into impact. Want to learn how to take your business to new heights with creative solutions, strategies, tactics, web design, social media techniques, digital solutions? You should probably check out Grova.com. Of course, Account Management, Strategic Management Authority, specializing in women's sports with a client-centric philosophy, providing sustainable solutions for maximum impact. Of course, new partner, Amicus Brewing Ventures. Of course, the official brewery of TLH Reckoning, opened in fall 2023, located downtown next to Cascades Park. Local woman-owned brewery serving great craft beers in a welcoming space in the historic Old City Water Works. Amicus is excited to partner with TLH Reckoning to promote the development of female soccer players and shine a light on our local talent. And they're also hosting post-game festivities over there at Amicus, so stroll on by to Cascades if you're headed up back north or Cascades area. Fantastic facility, great walking distance here from that Cascades area. Can say they do a pretty good job, pretty cool spot over there at Amicus. Of course, thank you to all of our sponsors here, Modern Fitness, Fig Consulting. Of course, shout out to them. Remember to spend your money and time intentionally with organizations that invest in and support the equitable advancement of our local girls and women. Of course, you talked about going on the road. Of course, Tallahassee Reckoning partnering with Astro Travel anytime they leave.
They're good.
The friendly confines.
They're good, and those seats are comfortable.
There you go. Whether you're headed down to Lakeland in a couple days or elsewhere throughout your journey, pair up with Astro Travel. Of course, safety, reliability, service. Checking all those boxes. Of course, we saw some new uniforms out here today. That's thanks to Hummel. Proud to be the official apparel partner of the Tallahassee Reckoning. Of course, FSU Coach, educational partner of Tallahassee Reckoning. And, of course, not every day is game day. But there's a lot of practice days. So shout out to Holy Comforter Episcopal School, the official training field partner of the Tallahassee Reckoning. And once again, don't forget, time is of the essence. Get on board. Soccer camps start next Monday. Of course, your chance to work with the future pros of the game and coaches who have trained and developed drafted professional players. Sign up at tlhreckoning.com/2024-summer-camp.
And I want to say one thing before we wrap this up. Because of my work schedule, this will be my last game for the year. You guys doing a good job. You and Trent doing a good job. Like the interviews at halftime.
There you go.
You're promoting the program. That's promoting the program. It's building things for what's coming down the line, and what's coming down the line is going to be good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So hopefully we'll have some more interviews with your favorite Tallahassee Reckoning players. Of course, love to hear those stories, right? Because that's interesting. That's how you get invested, and that's just a cool facet of just getting to know the players here. That's all part of a community club. So looking forward to more of those. Wednesday, come back with us here. Tampa Bay United in the house. Until then, for Andrew Jupe, Joe Ward, James Ward, Trenton Young, and everybody here, the great volunteers and staff for the Tallahassee Reckoning, you have a great rest of your Saturday. We'll see you and talk to you on Wednesday. Be well.